Okay. It's time to watch some Valorant. Ugh. Let's see. Is everything good? I think we still got 4 minutes anyway. Probably even longer. I think that's just to get the casters in here. I need to open the stream on here. I think I should. Maybe not. I don't think there's anything leakable. I don't do anything on this computer. I guess that kind of helps.
This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Today, 4 more teams make their Stage 1 debut, including our kickoff champions. Plus, we're going to see Aspas versus Demon 1 yet again. Oh, baby. It looks like your Saturday is all officially booked up.
That's
Hello,
actually
everyone,
happening?
And welcome to VCT Americas, coming at you live once again here in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California.
City of Angels.
You got Ender. You also have Mimi. And look at that. We brought a 4th person because why the hell not? It's Wyatt joining us again here today, fellas. And
I appreciate that.
Good to see everyone.
Shoot.
It's going to be quite the day.
Yeah, we put no more thought into bringing you in, then why not?
Why not? Why not for Wyatt?
Nice little handout.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Los Angeles is so angelic.
Huh? Yeah. Wait a minute. Like it's Los Angeles? Or
Yeah, we're in Los Angeles, Mimi.
Yeah, we're in
Not
Los Angeles. I don't know what this Angeles is. In any case, so let's go ahead and talk about what happened yesterday on this very stage, shall we, people? All right. Now, in our first match of Stage 1, it was NRG versus Cloud9. And folks, Zephyr decided to drop a 50 bomb for the dub again. So there you go, Christy.
Classic, yeah. You absolutely love to see that. Honestly, that series between C9 and NRG was wild because after map 1, I think everyone was like, wow, this NRG team is back. Their fundamentals look so strong.
You literally said to me after we finished casting map 1, wow, I'm really looking stupid with my pick now after you won the few C9 predictions.
And you know what? My prediction looks great after the next 2.
Pretty sure we can still hear him anyway.
Yeah, but look, I mean, Mimi, I think it was very clear that both teams came into this one leveled up, but it was C9 that managed to, pull that through.
Actually,
and
honestly,
that's big
while I'm
for
waiting,
this team to be able to lock up a win like that again.
Yeah, that was very important for making it to playoffs. Those are 2 teams kind of fighting for that same position in that group, but that was kind of the same case for this game here. It looked like it was going to be loud all day after the start of this series, and it changed up a lot after that.
Yeah, 2 absolute stomps back-to-back into a great 3rd map where Kesnet brought out the Jet on split with the Tejo breach, which was interesting, and then he went crazy, which he always seems to do on that map.
Yeah, it really was. That was just a wild one, man. We had 13-3, 13-2.
Stomp, and then close the game that off.
And it was crazy. Someone actually, I remember in the commercial break, someone on posted, they were like, watch it be the closest game for map 3. And it's like, where's that? I hope you took out a lottery ticket or something like that.
Wait, can we kick Wyatt out of here and get that guy?
Yeah, let's just get that person.
As long as I still get my day rate for showing up now, that's fine with me.
That's all he needs, folks. All right. Well, look, guys, coming up today, we've got ourselves an awesome double header because first up, it's going to be G2 taking on Furia, and then after that, we've got a kickoff rematch as MIBR goes.
I think we still got like 20 minutes.
Leviathan,
So
where you'll see Rossi
I'm gonna
make
do
his
this.
VCT America's debut Oh boy, Wyatt, what do you think about
capture.
And I'm excited for that one. Yesterday, I'd like your take, Christy and Mimi.
Game bar.
Boy and Bren, they dogged on me for putting Lev at the top of the group.
They were dogging you?
They were all over me.
This is the number one Lev fan right here.
I'm high on Lev. I have big investments, dividends in Leviathan for this stage, and I'm excited to see them debut with Rossi.
This
guy.
guy.
Going to take them over the top in quality.
Yeah, more than half my portfolio is Leviathan too. I'm actually.
You've got to diversify a little.
And think about this. Think about this. 2024. What happened? Kickoff. Leviathan.
They
come
very
out.
bad.
So they were stinkers, right? They lost to Loud and Sentinels, and then stage 1. What did they do? They came in and were frying. Stage 2 end up winning. This team's playing the long game, and with Rossi on the team, I think they've got the legs.
Every fandom, but maybe G2's, is just, I think, in a doom spiral after kickoff and thinks every team is bad, which is so untrue, because not every team can be bad. There's not enough room for that.
Well, they could be. They can all be bad, but one will still have to be the best.
But less bad. But I think like MIBR Lev are like the prime teams to be like either of them could go up there, be competitive with the top teams in the league, and it honestly shouldn't be that surprising if it happens.
And I think without a doubt, like these are going to be two teams that will be looking to do everything that they can to make sure that they can not be outside of that bubble. It's going to be real challenging, right? And a lot of that is going to boil down to how you approach the maps, how you approach these matches, because we're going week to week in this league, and it might be the second day of competition here in Americas, folks. But
so
it's
bad,
never too early to start talking about the meta. Oh, everyone's favorite word that's not associated with a billion-dollar company. Now, where we could be headed is a question on our mind, so we've got a forecast, people.
It's real as hell for
First
me.
one, what can I say, bro? What can I say?
Yo, why are we on fire?
Can we talk about the planet? What is okay? Yeah, that's actually an accurate interpretation. Okay, so we have ourselves 3 climates here for the meta forecast. We got up first, we have Tejo.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes sense.
This makes sense, right? And like we're trying to predict like what are our 3 most picked agents gonna end up being here in America's stage 1. Honestly, Tejo was already getting picked a ton during kickoff in America's, way more than in the other regions. And then if you look at Bangkok, where he's the most picked agent whatsoever, you got to assume America's we're still going to be playing him.
You can make an argument for someone like Breach, but I think with the map changes coming up this stage, adding Icebox back in, adding Ascent back in, both those maps are, I think you're open to experiment with Tejo in some comps, and I expect some teams at least to be playing that. I don't really expect to see much Breach on either of those maps outside of a few squads. So I think this guy is continuing to be our most picked agent, most likely.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Breach would have been up there, but when you're talking about Ascent, that is all Omen all day historically. And Icebox, you see the occasional double controller with a Viper Omen as well. So I can see that entering, you know, a little bit more into the pool. And on Lotus, obviously, this is another one where you have Omen all the time.
Exactly, like Omen is just so prevalent. Shout out to the Bromans out there. But I'm interesting that we got Omen in this whole thing because he's been in the mix for a super long time.
For sure, and I think the reason that we chose to put him in as most played, not because I think he'll be a defining agent of the meta, but I think when you're looking at controllers, there's a lot that's viable right now. You know, there's Brim maps where you're pretty much only going to be playing Brim.
But we lost Bind.
Yes,
so it's like
you still basically have Fracture at this point, and then you're kind of divided between Astra and Omen. But already at both Bangkok and here in Americas, Omen was more picked, and again, you're adding Ascent, which has always been an Omen map in, and Icebox, where, like you mentioned, teams can dabble.
Yeah, so the Omen and the Tejo were the 2 most picked agents at Bangkok, and we're expecting that carryover.
Explain this one to me.
Jets are wild card.
Because they're coming into Florida, and watch out, Florida.
Wait, is this your idea to put that there?
This was my idea to put that there, yes. And don't get me wrong, Yoru is the best duelist in the game, and I think our America's teams are trolling a little bit. The thing is, we have so many insane Jet players, like Kesnet is going to be playing Jet all the time, Jujuzin is going to be playing it, Osboss is going to be playing it, so I think this is much more of an America's unique thing, where Jet is going to still be eclipsing stuff like Yoru, even though we are still going to see that guy.
Raze is also incredible, case in point. Kesnet playing Jet on Split. Like, we have a lot of players that will just play Jet no matter what happens. And, well, there are multiple viable duelists. Yoru's really good, Raze is really good. Some teams might try out the Waylay. I think across all that.
I'm an ISO believer.
I mean, legit.
I think we should
ISO's interesting.
ISO's good.
Fair amount of ISO. Though I don't think teams in Americas love the ISO Yoru on Haven. There's a lot more of the traditional stuff.
Boring teams. Kind of, not boring anything.
That's right. Don't go anywhere.
Get out of this woman. comps with comps. They're exciting to watch with their boring comps.
All right, folks. Well, look, you want to know what's not boring? Our block party that's outside. That's right, Mimi. How dare you? Now, of course, like you said, we got this awesome block party here at the Riot Games Arena. Mimi's fired. There's food, there's drinks, there's swag, there's music, and there's even some VCT America's legends standing on by with the one and only Dan Dryad to get their thoughts on today. Actually, we have one of them ready to go.
These block parties just get better and better because this time around, I'm at the Pulsar booth with Tens. And Tens, first of all, how's retirement treating you? And what are you up to here?
Retirement's pretty chill, first off, and what I'm doing here, I'm actually releasing my mouse with Pulsar. Take a look.
Oh, brother.
And that is insane. I feel like developing a mouse has to be an insane process as well. Can you tell me a little bit about how this all came up?
Yeah, so it was a pretty insane process, I'll first say. And we kind of started off with like a first base shape. From there, I just kind of molded it down and down until exactly what I got what I wanted. So here it is now, right here in the box.
And I'm trying to get my hands on this mouse. It looks really cool. So when can I do that?
So to all those that come to the VCT America's Games, it's going to be sold here at the Pulsar booth for the first 500 units. Afterwards, it's going to be sold online on April 14th, available to everyone worldwide.
So everybody trying to get this Pulsar mouse by Tens, you know where to look and you know when to wait. So I'm so excited. I'm going to go in line right away. Thank you so much. And we'll send it back to GB.
Thank you so much for that, Dan. And I mean, listen, you're going to have to be around for at least a couple more interviews, so don't wait on that line too long now. That looks cool, though. Pretty dope. Happy to see 10.
I mean, while I'm waiting, though, I was just thinking, can we make like a mosh mouse? Like little buttons going right here?
I don't think that would work.
I mean, it fits my hand pretty nicely.
Yeah? Come on, Pulsar.
It's a little bit mushy. A mushy mouse. Why haven't we done that?
That should be the name of it, the mushy mouse.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
no.
that would be very virtuous.
Actually, Wyatt, you are
Yeah, it sounds like I'm paid off with what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I wish I was, but I just like I have the other Tens mouse from an undisclosed company that we can't name. And I like that one a lot, and I honestly might go outside and buy one. And I know that sounds like I'm making it up in shilling, but I think I'm going to go outside and buy one after this segment.
Man, this guy just likes Tens.
This guy heckin' loves the guy. All right, folks. Well, G2 came to Masters Bangkok as the #1 seed from the Americas region and finished in second place, falling in a Map 5 overtime banger to T1. We sat down an opportunity with VALORANT and Giacomo and Coach Josh RT for a look back at the team's global run.
It can only end this way. T1 dig deep and managed to pull off the win on Split, sending G2 to the back with their heads held low while T1 have their heads held high.
Going into map 5, I mean, it's do or die for both teams. I knew it was going to be a tough game. And I mean, the crowd is definitely on T1's side, but at the same time, it was just about focus and locking in. Like, everything else didn't matter.
Pop flash, ready to be set. Might not even be needed, but he gets a catch on the VALORANT all the same.
We go in, terrible start for us. We're down like 4-0, but we've been resilient the whole series, so like we knew that this is still very much possible. We scratch and claw our way back to like an 8-4. Then there was round 23, and then it kind of shifted everything.
For G2, just one more. See if you can claim that Masters trophy.
I think in that pivotal moment, the team definitely felt a lot of pressure.
I think G2 saw that trophy in their eyes, but this flank finally, a lurk is able to go for T1. Go fast, spawn.
I think they ended up finding like some holes in our defense, and T1's a team that's like, if you give them that, if you give them an inch, they're gonna take the whole mile.
With Jonah P. to try to bring it back, but he cannot find it. T1, they hold on by a thread as they look to take us to yet another overtime.
I think I literally sighed. I haven't sighed in a while. Like, I usually don't sigh on the mic. I don't get mad over the mic, so.
That was my bad, boy. Sorry. was like, damn, like, did I just throw? Or did I just troll? Like, you know, like, in my head, that's basically what I thought, you know? Did we just troll as a team? Like, what happened?
I think we lost some of the situational awareness a little bit.
This is something that nobody really experiences as a player until you're at that stage trying to close a tournament out.
It didn't feel like we knew that was happening in the moment, you know? I was a little bit sad because it was about to go overtime because we were about to be broke for the next round. So I was like, oh, we're cooked right now.
Time once again dwindling. Trent gonna be taken down. Strap in. It is far from over. We are going to overtime.
I think the best performers is able to exhibit like strong emotional control, and that's something I recognize in T1 and how they're able to clutch so many of those moments.
We felt like we were in a blur. Like we knew what we were doing, but the rounds weren't going on our ways.
In OT, I feel like they played a lot different. They took more risks, and they played to win.
As Meteor finds Trent. A 4v2, a 4v1, Giacomo! The one champion on this stage!
You should run.
Asked to do it all! The lockdown in play! No hope in hell!
I mean, I've experienced these moments at grand finals before. Obviously, I looked around at the crowd. It was roaring, and I was like, damn, it's not for me.
The uncrowned kings of a forgotten throne are at long last anointed!
I looked over to my left, Trent.
Last anointed!
I looked over to my left, Trent. He was just heartbroken. Jonah was just facepalm. Then I looked across the way to T1. Stacks ran at Buzz, hugged him like he's his kid, you know? I was like, damn, that's a good feeling right there.
T1 are your Masters Bangkok champions!
First is just accepting the loss, and I think we've done that already, and we've come to terms with it and understood that you're not always gonna win every event you play, every game you play, and sometimes it comes to the slimmest of margins. Going that deep and not making it sometimes can actually make you a better team, make you a better player, because this was a test.
There's a big lesson of humility and just like, hey, there's a lot to work on.
Definitely think the motivation that we have after that loss is kind of going back to our roots. We're gonna be back regardless. Like, we know that for a fact.
Eventually our time will come. Unfortunately, Bangkok wasn't it. If we want it really bad, we're just gonna get there again. And this time, like, they're gonna give it to us, and I'm not letting go of it. Like, I'm snatching the trophy this time, forcefully.
That whole event, what an incredible journey, truly, for both G2 and T1, who are the champions out of Bangkok there. But of course, G2 coming into stage one with 6 massive championship points. And let's not forget, the addition of Giacomo has been paying off for this team as well. So there is a lot, Mimi, I think, to be excited about for this G2 team, especially even with the disappointing finish.
Okay. Oh, oops. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Why can't I? That's so gay, bruh. Let's see. Is this it? Whoa. Let's see.
The Zekin.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Oh, we got Hubert and his
Hubert
friend.
and his friend.
I don't know.
Alright, let's make a new game.
Yeah, little bro.
Oh,
John
quite
QT.
talented.
Very nice.
Yes.
Indeed. Is that a bang?
That's a bang, yeah.
Okay.
Sen City shirt, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Narrate.
Narrate, nice.
And a hollow 10.
Oh,
All right, that's pretty.
You should have the gloves.
Yeah, you're gonna bend it.
that's mine.
Crease.
That's mine.
PSA 4.
You can't,
I'm selling this. If you're in the
Value
venue,
destroyed.
come find me.
can't take these animals anywhere. Yeah, I swear. All right, let's take a look at talent predictions.
Yeah, you're gonna bend it.
That's mine.
Crease.
That's mine.
PSA 4.
You can't,
I'm
Oh,
selling
it
this.
loaded.
If you're in the
Value
venue,
destroyed.
come find me.
can't take these animals anywhere. Yeah, I swear. All right, let's take a look.
If you're in the
Value
venue,
destroyed.
come find me.
Can't take these animals anywhere. Yeah, I swear.
Oh,
All right,
shoot.
Let's take a look at
Holy.
talent predictions. What do we
What
all
the heck?
think? We're going to pick up some dubs here today. And no surprise on the first game. But on the second one, though, we got a little bit of a
Perfect.
clash
This is
there.
such an honest prediction. 100% G2, love that. And then a majority MIBR, but a good. I'd like to see a little more Leviathan prediction, honestly.
Hey, look, me and Wyatt.
Yeah, we really are on the same
You really
page.
are nowhere.
Lev, they're going to be them. I don't know what to say. I've been arguing for this for 2 days straight. It's good. This is where it's proven.
Look, we gave
Give me your
Rossi an
poop.
84, I think. But if this is off-season Rossi, that guy's 99.
99.
Off-season Rossi was
Off-season
crazy.
was in the 90s, for sure.
And then Cloud9 dropped him, but he's back.
He's back. All that matters is that he's here and he's playing now. And hey, screw it, right? Of course, we'll see him later on today. But folks, I think, it's time to get this show started, shall we? Because we got some great matches on the docket, right? We have G2 Esports taking on Furia. G2, of course, being the runners-up from Bangkok.
Oh,
How
come
are
on.
they going to perform? And then on the other side of that, you got MIBR versus Leviathan. It's going to be a clash, and VCT America starts ahora.
Start running, I guess.
Bom, jogar contra o G2 vai ser um jogo que eles vêm muito hypado, né?
Driver.
Eles são
Oh, that's a
top 1
5.
do kickoff e
What?
top 2 agora do Masters, então vai ser um jogo muito difícil.
Me and Rafa definitely have some history in the IGL matchup. We played against each other in Ascension when he was on Union. I ended up taking a 2-1 victory over him, but it was a really close match to send us into the grand final.
Regard, discard of the Union.
I'm excited to get another match
Cool.
versus him. I know he probably is as well. He wants his revenge, but I'm much better than the Ascension version of myself. So he's gonna be up for a challenge. I don't think he's
Let's look at this game real quick.
saudável do
I think it's
jeito
fixing
que a
to
gente
start.
gosta de jogar, por conta que eu
We'll gather some more stuff.
Sinergia e a sensação que eu tenho é que vai ser tudo de boa e a gente vai conseguir
And let's go ahead and get this show started, shall we? Riot Games Arena, put your hands together for G2 Esports. And of course, G2 Sports. And of course, G2 coming out here with a lot of hype. That second place finish in Bangkok, but also being the America's winners, America's kickoff winners as well. They're looking to add an America's trophy to that list.
Absolutely. We've had this narrative, and rightly so in Valorant, where teams that come back from deep runs of these international events oftentimes have a little bit of a downturn period. I don't expect that for G2. This is a nice match for them to just... What is that, John? What is that?
That was foul. Zoom in on his tongue. The go-through bundle, they're calling crazy.
Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and bring out their Riot Games Arena. Let us give some love to Furia.
Oh, shoot.
And
Should
Furia,
probably get this.
tall order for the squad, without a doubt. But you heard a little bit in that preamble before the match, right? A history between Rafa and Valen, right? And what they had done back then in the Ascension tournament. So a fun little clash is going to happen here today for these
Never
guys.
really
Sure,
seen
but that
Furia
still
play.
ended with the guard winning,
That's
going on
true.
to Ascend, becoming G2 now here in the Americas League. And for Furia, this is a tough task, having to fill someone into the shoes of MW Zera and face off against America's best team on your stage 1 debut.
Yeah, they've been dealt the worst cards possible. Like, it's one thing to have like a late in the moment sub come into the team. It's a whole other one to have this level of competition coming up first.
And we didn't really even talk about Heat. We didn't get a chance to, but I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing in this one as well.
Yeah, he came off of the best year in his competitive career with Crew. You would have thought that would have been a big upgrade for Furia.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to step up and kick off. Maybe he can
Pretty
today
basic.
when they're lacking some firepower from MW being gone.
Something interesting to note for G2, they didn't have a lot of time compared to the other teams, coming off of their deep run at Bangkok to deal with these 2 map changes.
Yeah,
We'll
how
see
are
how
they
this
gonna play
goes.
Ascent? It's a
I wanna see these
wild card
comps.
now.
Okay, but my point was
Furia
they floated
first.
both of them. They left Icebox and Ascent open. They're willing to play either, and Ascent is what Furia picks into. Historically, Brazil loves Ascent. Historically, Furia, pretty good at Ascent.
Historically, though, G2 with Trent, the best at Ascent.
Oh my.
But now he
Trent's so upset.
can't spam B main. Well, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a heartbreaker, honestly, for me, you know?
Honestly, look, here's my question going into the maps today. Obviously, G2 sort of defined the meta. Jogmo had been playing so much Yoru. But if you have been watching his stream, the man only plays Waylay now. He's
Bruh.
putting in reps.
Okay, so do
on
we
this
think we're
agent.
getting Waylay today, or is it already troll?
He said on stream, I'm not playing in matches though. So I'm going to assume no.
The thing is, I bet he's going to be begging Josh to let him play at a map, and they're like,
Oh, wow.
we just got second place with these comps, and they're still good. We're going to probably run it back.
Maybe.
If there was a map to play it, I think Waylay is viable on Ascent, but when you think, would I rather have something with Waylay or just have my Jet off
Yeah,
and kill
you
everyone?
want the opping.
It's
I
still a tough
believe he
sell.
said on his stream
Kinda
as well,
rooting
the
for
only
G2
map that he
here.
doesn't like it on right now is Haven. But everything else he's cool with it.
Well, then that certainly does.
But I want the best team to
some
win.
question marks. That'd be cool, you know, if they gave him a little chance to do it. And when you're being honest, you know, this matchup, great opportunity for them to kind of experiment with those things. But I also think, though, to a greater extent, and the point that we were saying here earlier, G2 wants to make a statement.
Just got
I
that
think G2
pad
has
hanging
to make a
off.
statement here. Not to discredit Furia by any stretch of the imagination, but I think anything less than like a 13-5, 13-6 for G2 would be like something where they want to dominate.
I mean, even if you just consider like the history of what happened last year with like Sentinels that went on to like win in Madrid, right, in Masters 1, they came back, lost those first few matches, and it was like, oh, it's fine, no, they'll obviously bounce back, but when there's only 5 weeks of season, 5 games, like that moves real quickly, so you can't, you know, slow down and let the present catch up to you.
Agent select here, no changes from G2's Bangkok comp, which was very successful
Let's see.
there. The Bridge Teo double controller with the Yoru, super comfortable for them.
Yeah, and really, if they intend on making changes later, practicing some stuff behind the scenes to catch out some of the stronger teams.
Weird.
That
Playing
is
Clove?
double controller with the Clove.
Yeah, so Clove's smoke cooldown went up from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. They have an Omen next to it, which makes it a little better.
Yeah, and Clove has the worst smoke duration in the game, right? You have a less time to have the speed up when you use your C. I mean, I don't know. This is a weird one to see a Clove pick.
And then also you have the Fade with the Breach, but lacking the Taeho, which traditionally you have the Death Ball with the Breach Taeho Neon. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, folks, our teams are ready to go. So let's go ahead and send it over to your casters for this one. It's a new duo that we're calling Baby Bren.
Yeah, I'll show you some pictures later of the Baby Brand, you know, that little duo that's kicking off here. But let's get this game started, man. I mean, it's G2 versus Furia. These are two teams with very opposite expectations, I think, for themselves heading into stage one. G2 coming off the back of being finalists at Bangkok, one of our mass event, and Furia just looking to try and get that map win, essentially, right?
Just trying to
get wins on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a tough ask as well, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're G2, you couldn't have asked for a better opponent. All things considered, you know, off of that grueling loss that you had, I mean, the trials and tribulations.
Nice ease in.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
good. And if you're Furia, I mean, everything's working against you right now. You lost a phenomenal mechanical talent in MW, and now you're here left to your devices against runners-up.
That's going to be difficult.
It's tough, but we are going to be on Lotus here. And
it's time for that Samsung match start as well. Load up fast with the Samsung SSDs, and we are starting on Lotus, like you said.
Yes.
Hell of a record for G2.
Oh, they haven't dropped this since America's Stage 2 finals last year. And they also played against AG, who ran this composition in Thailand. So, I mean, maybe Furia saw something. I do like where they're leaning towards with these role swaps. I mean, Heat, he's so good on that duelist role. We've seen it before. He's talked in interviews how that's his most comfortable role. He's kind of like a pseudo-duelist here.
Yeah, you can be second one in, playing off the space that your team creates on the Clove.
Yeah.
As you already said as well, you know, Bangkok, you get given that blueprint, many ways to play the game, a lot of compositions that were tested, fleshed out, EDG playing this one.
Yeah.
Why not copy it? Save some time, and they're going to go for it straight into C. There's an open side, G2 willing to give this one up.
Yeah, and this is the benefit of G2's compositions and the chemistry that
I
they
like
have
the
on these
retake.
retakes. They have so much
Let's just hope it's
utility
good.
to flood in. They're so comfortable giving all
I mean,
this
this
space.
side is just
and
so
with no one
hard to
dropping
hold.
early, Furia, they're going to have to press the issue.
I don't mind this retake.
Smoke going to face a Jonah P. Absorbs the flash up.
Yep.
G2 are comfortable here into this spot, trying to play this retake now. No missteps. 5v5 and a full fight occurring. Off onto the flank here. Khalil needs to win that fight out, and he does just that. Okay, dominant positions here from Furia. They claim to the site.
It's pistol.
They claim to a couple of bodies as well. G2 left to see if Trent can pick up these pieces. He's making a decent go over here, but confidence on show. That's a three-piece from Rafa to seal up the pistol round.
And that's a strong start for Furia on the attacking side. I like the way that
We
they
all know
approach the
pistol
entire
round, too,
round,
just
playing
mitts.
a nice contact style on C, sniffing
pretend
out
wins.
where the retake was being played. But it was the post plant for me, Bren, that was so interesting because everybody was playing in. Yeah, Khalil was holding the flank by himself, but they're clearly here to try to disrupt. I wonder now for G2 if they identified that already, if Valen knows, okay, they're playing on site, let's just bombard the entire
They're
site
way
with
too
all our
excited. We gotta
utilities.
get rid of
That's
that.
what makes Teo and the Breach so powerful combined, but everyone is geared up towards A. It's going to be a brawl.
G2 loading a ton of util off the rip here. It's not an eco round of their own, but guns in the hand of the Furia players will be able to navigate through most of it here. G2, when they play this composition, they don't opt into these all-in rubble fights too often. They usually go for these reclears a little bit later, but it's an eco round. Throw something new into the mix.
Yeah, just try to catch anybody off guard right now. A pause to the round, something very common that teams like to do when they're up numbers. They don't want to let this one slip away. But proactivity now in front B. It's going to be a wraparound. No one is looking here quite
Honestly,
yet.
No Sentinel,
if they can just get one here, it'll be good.
A couple of eyes on it. Khalil
There's
is
two
watching,
dead,
but
two guns
he's one on
down.
3 HP.
Some money
dropped down
gone.
as well. Weak as anything. Just waiting for the time to strike here. Beautiful precision by Khalil. Still in the danger zone though. His team just moving and R-ing for now as well. Salvos lay it down, push them back and away. Death by 1,000 cuts if you are G2 here, but they're just trying to make it nice and awkward for Furia.
Any type of damage now would be good for the side of G2. That's why you see
What's going on?
Leaf also slowly creeping all the way back here, rotating from that C site. And if they could get this Bulldog out of the hands of Heat, maybe trying to isolate him here. Ah, he's too sharp though.
Yeah. Locks onto it. They know exactly where Leaf was.
Dude, if only they knew he
The
was
general
1
round here,
HP.
so all navigated quite nicely, as we were saying. I mean, there could have been danger there when Furia were just going into the A rubble fight, but 4 survive.
Yeah, stuffing that first fight, and maybe this is what we're going to see in future rounds, the power of the Neon. You can kind of breeze past some
I feel
of
like
that
this
utility.
map is more
But like you
RNG,
did say earlier,
unless you have a lot of
G2 play
util.
that more reactive, re-clearing
And I
type
don't
of
think-
style with the Breach and the Taeho. I'd be very interested in this bonus round to see what Fury can cook up. If they can catch G2 off guard, because they did save 4 of those rifles in the round. A Stinger on prize.
Keep up
geared up towards
first 2 rounds. Don't care. We need equal guns first.
Bit of pace. Potentially ordered up here. It's a nice little fault line. Sets them up early. Valor on top of it. Havoc straight in there.
I mean, I like the retakes. They just don't do it
this way and that. It's a bit of a handshake, and it's getting these G2 players straight back in for an attempt. Potentially to flood straight back in. That's Prize who steps up to that challenge instantly with the trade-off once more and a triple face. And it's all Fury winning this out. Defeat filled up with red entirely. And a drenching the sight in it on top of it. Leaf. He's left alone now in a 1v2.
Okay,
Players aren't low enough.
I believe in him, actually.
With the Outlaw. Can make something of this one. A rapid pivot here from these Furia players to be able to get that open sight.
And he's got
access to the A.
See, I can.
Leaf did get an upgrade into this as well, so he can slowly creep in. I mean, he has been clutch in the past for this G2 squad. The star player in stage 1 for them. We saw the work he could do on Chamber. I mean, any character doesn't matter. But is he ready to face Heat?
Oh my. No way. Resets Marafas. Watchful eye from on high. God almighty. What a beginning for Furia. This is 3 rounds in a row.
He was almost there.
Phenomenal start, right? You couldn't ask for anything better, and they caught G2 off guard. That's going to be the name of the game if they want to get a map win or even a series win against this G2 roster. That face, that full pace towards that B site, just overwhelming everybody. The retake is something normally G2 are very good at, but a little bit of a slow start here from some of the lads on that squad.
It's the Furia team as well that, you know, there was a lot of interviews going around, I think, heading into stage 1. Furia struggling to find their identity. The GM as well, Luke Zero was talking about.
Wow.
It was translated
Okay,
into
so
so
it
maybe
looks like
some
a lot of
pieces getting
teams
missed
do
in
this
it.
smoke.
But talking about how, like, he was kind of thinking that their issue was focusing more, you know, they needed to be focusing on their FPS fundamentals, less so like utility combos. And that was receiving the ire from a decent chunk of the community for good reasons. But I'm not seeing that here. It's good util to clear through. Just making sure that they make the right motions so far onto Lotus, a map where G2 have been dominant at.
Yeah, like I said, haven't dropped it since last year in a final. But yeah, you're totally right about the way that Fury are approaching this. It's not really this full force forward.
G2 can figure out
they're
how
actually
they're
playing as a more cohesive unit than what we've seen in the past. And good ideas. I mean, even freezing rounds when they're up numbers. They've had some decent utility usage themselves on that B execute. Everybody is gearing up here towards that A. Heat. He took all that free space after the C default. And with only Sheriffs to the name, Jaw is going to have to hit some ridiculous shots here.
Let's catch that contact. Whole line used on the back of it. All right. It's going to be Jorgamo who's tested, challenged, the one who has to step all the way up. It's decayed down to just double digits there, and it's a quick shot to the brain from Havoc. Easing their way into the site here, trying to double up against that high-low Trent. That's a nasty little two-piece. Just offloading those shots while he's at it, buying a bit of time and space for his team. And this is questionable by Furia. Time is running short and running out entirely.
It doesn't look like they're warmed up.
His access leaves here. He can play spoiler entirely. 7 seconds left. Bravo's going for the plant. Coverage from on high. It was necessary from Heat. It's all handled. It's all managed.
It's scary because it's the run map.
But it's around nevertheless.
Down to the wire, planting the spike with 8 seconds left. I mean, Leaf, he was smart. He kind of had a read on that. He understands already that Furia have been pivoting from site to site, trying to out-manipulate the rotations of G2.
Wow.
So, I think at this point, we should see a timeout, surely, Brent, from the side of G2. Calm things down a little bit, get back into the swing of things. Doesn't look like we're gonna get that yet. Oh,
we're getting a timeout.
There it is.
Good call.
G2 timeout. Perfect timing for
Good,
Josh.
good.
Not wanting to let things slip away. I mean, this is the first match back after that grueling loss that everyone's been talking about. I mean, that's rent-free in G2's head here.
Yeah. You would think as well, you know, you're the finalists of Bangkok. There shouldn't be a lot of...
You can tell he's a genius because he's balding.
It's, lopsided on paper, right, I suppose, in terms of the groups. Everybody's expecting Furia to not be doing too hot. G2 should be the top of their group entirely, so you would think confidence would be sky high, but when you have that upset of expectations, where Furia are coming into this with almost nothing to lose, because everyone's expecting them to lose, it makes things a little bit different, honestly. The pressure is completely off their shoulders, at least it should be, if you're one of those players playing up on the stage. And for G2, everyone's really expecting that perfection from them, and sometimes that can cause these issues, these weaknesses. So an early correction called for with the timeout.
And how do you stop Heat, who's just been having a heater of a game so far? He's 6-1 on the Clove. This is why they adapted to this composition. This is why they're playing it now. Havoc, he's had some great entries, creating a lot of space. But the push and pull from the side of Furia, it's looked phenomenal. We haven't seen a level like this out of them yet. And yeah, it's still very early on. We have to keep it in mind, Lotus is tend to be favored on the attacking side. But the way that they've been maneuvering around this utility, I mean, it's forcing
I like that
G2
they're
to
getting
have
more
these
aggressive.
early engagements, and they're stuck behind a smoke.
This is good.
Yeah, big rubble engagement. That push and pull though, like you were talking about, because Fury are given easy access towards C Mound, Khalil, walkabouts. See if you can get access.
This Viper over here is giving their team all the information.
I mean, Furia,
Like they're pushing through now because they heard him run.
That C site, using that breach and neon fade combo to clear out all that space.
Wait, they need to kill this Clove here so they can run. No.
Into the CT point, Heat off to the sides of the corner, not expecting that, and the dodge and a juke off the flash.
Oh yeah.
Not quite there with a move.
We're back.
Not dead yet. He's straight back at it with the ult, but he needs some help. And bailout still round the corner. Stun. Good connection. Jonah P trying to square up, trying to posture, and luckily,
okay.
the rest of his team onto this side. It leaves it
Hold on.
down to Valen and Jonah P, side by side, but opposite sides of the map, and lovely movement with the aim. Valen realizes he got to call it quits and back away once more. This is Fury making all the right moves.
Yeah, this is so sick to watch.
Looks like Fury likes Seal quite a bit.
G2 players that have been so dominant on this map of Lotus.
Boy, you'd be.
And they're ready for everything. Even
I think A is an
flank.
easier
I mean,
retake.
after the timeout, the call for Josh was, okay, let's take more space towards that A rebel side of the map, and if they go C, we'll get the flanks in. But they're ready for it. Yeah. Whether it was a pistol round or right
that's
here,
just
with the
unfortunate.
rifle, the proactivity and just awareness overall from Furia has been the deciding factor of why they're up.
If the guy didn't peek from B, they would have been aware of the guy on the corner.
They do look like a
and he would have had
whole
more
new
HP.
team. I mean, maybe Prize was the key all along that they needed.
Outside voice.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. The outside voice that comes in and just makes everybody stay on the same page.
There's big shoes to fill. Trying to replace up MW0 in terms of that mechanical ability, but
the utility has looked great so far.
It has, yeah. They've been doing well to clear.
Another C-mount default. This time, they're just going to all back up
on here?
and clear some of that space at A. But look, off of that pressure alone, you're already seeing a little bit of rotations, a little bit of 80 strafing from the side of G2. Jonah P.
Trent.
In that baby door area now, just going back towards Trent. But you just don't have the weapon. No, just don't have the weapons behind it.
A cheeky peek maybe as well, but Util's going to be pushing them back and away. Forcing the respect out of them. Time did become an issue in one of the prior rounds for Furia when they were taking it this cautiously, and G2 are willing to show a bit of disrespect. You can see them already pushing out a C mound.
Yeah.
Why not? You're on a half buy.
Yeah,
risks need to be taken.
They're slowly surrounding them right now. I mean, if Furia doesn't speed up here
Wait.
and take the site, it could be worse for wear, but
be dangerous. That's nice. Sharp by Khalil. Gets a handle off onto the flag as well. Cutting up into the corner. Jonah P just can't quite get the second he was looking for.
30 seconds.
So 2v4.
Bro.
Just placement not on point. He eager to take
Okay.
engagement. Beautiful in the moment from Trent. He almost makes magic out of
It
it.
looks like only individual players are doing
Trent's been the
well.
only one on the side of G2 that hasn't really looked flat so far. I feel like it's a very, very slow start. I mean, not even having much opportunity to get aim duels in. It just seems like everyone's caught off guard, getting peeked into, or just not really clearing corners from the side of G2. Furia, they came ready to play today.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone looks like they want it really bad. You could just tell by the way that they've been maneuvering around the map. That aim is on point. I'm just not quite sure what G2 can really do. They've tried everything, it seems like. I feel like it has to be the star duelist here.
And straight away, I mean, they put the operator into Jorgamo's hands, but he's trapped. Rock in a hard place, trying to get the hell out of there. Trent provides some supplementary fire. It's just through the smoke, it looks like, so.
Of course. Havoc saw nothing.
Yep.
Proactivity now in front B. It will see Heat, so now you have to be aware of a potential pivot from this A mount default. But G2 looks like they just want to play retake on that A site.
Wow.
What is that?
What the heck?
Get the hell out of here, Heat.
And with that one pick, the entire map is open for play now. Tap of the door as well after that kill. I mean, G2 have no idea what Furia are cooking up right now, and Heat is a human drone in this moment. Oh my goodness.
Needs to be some clearance of the question marks across the map here, because like you said, G2 are just being locked out Even Joel considering.
I think they're overthinking him.
Just for a bit of that information. Now, Heat has lurked his way all the way into C.
Like way too much.
TP with a spike in hand. This is Khalil getting himself onto the side with control of it, so they'll be able to get the plant down. Valen could be a playmaker. Needs to catch this kill here with him versus Prize, and Prize just takes his head clean off. Dimensional drift. In again, it's on a rapid play. But just with the operator in hand, there's not really too much he can do. Armageddon lays the way as well. It's going to be paving a path straight forward.
Wow.
And slowed to a crawl.
Winnable. Pick up the moment.
Util combos, ults on ults. The Nightfall is going to be offloaded. An attempt to upend this site control, but this time G2 have got their way in through the positions. Slow siege from them. Tucked up onto the corner. Shots are still hitting. Rattled off. Few misses inside. Trends on for a 4-piece. Potentially the ace round to the corner. Prize has just taken out Jorgamo. No surprises, and Trent's left to do it all. Stick of a half is necessary, but he's not going to be able to get it done. Red Bull clutch.
Jorgamo lucky throwing.
This newcomer into this Furia roster. Essentially, not even by potentially choice of Furia. I mean, they were looking for an initiator replacement. They had to opt into Prize because he had a visa, essentially, and he's pulling off stuff like this.
It's unbelievable. Even with that entry, okay, we thought it was through a smoke. He got a glimpse of him right before, but Prize even clearing out Valen in that front B engagement. I mean, you think Valen's gonna win that for sure. And it looked like Valen was aware, but it just doesn't matter. The mechanical talent of Furia right now is just outshining the strategy of G2. We saw the protocols in effect. I mean, if it was retake A, we would have seen the same breach ult combo with that Taeho ultimate combined. This time around, it's at that C, and we get 2 with it. But the post plant was too strong from the side of Furia, and this is the second time out now for G2. I mean, this is it. You got to dig deep if you want to bring this one back. This is your map pick. You're world beaters on this map. You even took out T1 in Thailand.
Something's going to miss. That's the second time out now for G2. You can feel it. It's the panic button, essentially, at this point. You're in the first half. And I mean, it needs to be the case. 7 rounds in a row here for Furia.
They need a couple around.
Have been dominant at. When the expectations could not be more different. I mean, we went into this series talking about how G2, it should be a nice easy one, like a nice warm bath, right?
Everyone thought that.
Exactly, get back into stage 1, and for Furia, they're just looking to get that map win on the board with their roster that isn't just a bunch of mercenaries coming in to play for them because they didn't have their visas in time.
But here we go. It's going to be a complete A brawl right here. Can the Neon surpass all the utility from the Taeho and Breach?
Oh, Havoc's planted up though. This misses at his feet. Another fault line is delayed. It's that second wave and hit, and look at it. Full
wow.
It did. The spray control. Miraculous.
Everyone was just blind.
And yes, it was the weaker buy by G2, but this is pure confidence on display now.
I mean, just bullying G2. Straight up bullying them. But the utility behind these fights from Furia has been so impressive, though, for a team that, you know, kind of relied on a lot of contact style and just aim dueling at kickoff.
Last player standing.
They've done their due diligence, and
they certainly have. I mean, this is just a sweep, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, 8-0 against G2.
Yeah, you're kidding me.
I have faith in the next map.
This is a Cinderella story. And he still at the top, 10-4. Prize, the newcomer. He's right there with them. But look at the follow-up utility.
I doubt it'll be a 13-0.
Well, the paranoia, everything. And then the trading is on point. What a change of pace, too, because traditionally on the anti-eco rounds for Furia, they've kind of been a little bit more cautious, kind of been seeing if there's been any type of aggression. This time, just taking the fight straight against those weaker guns. And let's see if this operator from Jorgamo can actually get some value this time around.
This is 4 players of G2 looking to try and put a stop to this one. Finally, Havoc stopped in his tracks. Still off to the side as an off angle of Khalil, and still layering down with these bullets as Prize side by side over the shoulder. G2 thought they had an advantage. They wanted to try and take this one all the way, but they're the ones hurting at the end of the day. It's a player disadvantage now for them. Trent, love to see what he can do. Wall's going to be dropping soon enough. Pause chord for.
He needs to aim up.
Yeah, and with Leaf taking all the C-mount space, no reason for the G2 members not to double up here. I think if they get a little too antsy, though, and walk into the crosshairs of Furia, that is the disadvantage. But they have nobody checking front B, so Trent, he's got to do this back and forth. Hope he doesn't get timing. The re-clear of the drone will give good info now, though.
Yeah, you spot 2, you know exactly where most of the players are going to be holding, but time is of the essence. Util, ball goes up, though, as they're trying to take the refight there. It's a bit of miscoordination, communication there. open door,
Okay.
straight in through into the site now. Smoke dropped down.
Should put that wall back up so he could cross.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
So much utility still on the play for Furia. And this
20
seconds.
seconds, they need to hurry.
As well. And he can be the human drone to entry in here as well.
Aftershock's good. Any foresight here with Khalil being dropped as well. A bit of spam straight into the smoke. This is good from G2. It's what they needed in the moment here. It's uncomfortable now. 28 seconds remaining. An attempt to clear this guy. Pesky problem. The VALORANT is. This is it. It's desperation, and there's no time left to win. Trent all just needs to play his life, and it's a round.
Let's go.
The one that's eluded
We
them
got
until
what?
this point, but finally, under the belt.
And it's all because of VALORANT, honestly. The way that he played around his smokes towards that A site, Omen T being in the back of site, getting all the way to drop.
Looks like we're breathing now.
So much time
We've been
on that
resuscitated.
Leaf winning the head-to-head against Khalil as well. So finally, some signs of life for G2. They were losing that flank battle every single time. Maybe now confidence getting back into their hands. I mean, he's even shocked that they won the round, which is craziness. But yeah, VALORANT, the IGL stepping up huge for G2 right when they needed it the most. If they can string back a couple more rounds together, give themselves a shot on that attacking side, that's all they could ask for.
And they've got to be careful here. That's 140.
Yeah, he's tagged up
Straight
pretty
to the
bad
chest. He's going to offload the ult.
And that's very interesting too, because now it just feels like you're so weak. You know you got tagged. They could just smother you, spam through the smoke, anything, utility. You could drop, but it's not going to be the case. It's going to be a fight towards this A side of the map. A lot of util being exchanged.
The tangle out towards.
Okay.
Flash as well though. VALORANT set up nicely. Nearsighted, stun at your feet. It's getting a bit awkward, but still G2 maintaining control and watchful positions. And
There we go.
No more funny business from Heat. He's been slipping into all sorts of gaps.
Okay, wait.
This one all the way up.
We're online now.
Just Prize up against it.
We actually want to win.
But yeah, making it nice and awkward. Trent is not far behind his teammate. Second one up, building it up. And if they get 4, there's potential here for G2. You don't think it might be enough?
Yeah, it's doable. It's attack side Lotus, you know, you have the double controller, you can, you know, manipulate rotations like VALORANT likes to do, but this time, again, ready for everything. The Heat's not getting away with those shenanigans of going solo contact style on the opposite side of the pack. They're more aware now, G2, of that style, that 4-1 approach. So util for util was won this time around for G2. Furia taking their first time out.
Dang.
Just trying to cut out some of that momentum that G2 is starting to accumulate, because that was a clean round that they just won.
At this point, it feels like to me though that G2 have got a bit of a read in terms of how Furia want to play.
Yes.
Like you said earlier.
20 seconds.
The Heat lurks as well. A lot more of these fights that are occurring. It almost felt early on like G2 were just getting pulled into the fights constantly, trying to always reclear this space when you can just let Furia run down the clock. They're not really doing anything with that time. They're waiting it out quite often.
And that's the reason why G2 won that first round that they did.
Yeah.
And the thing is with a team like G2 who's so decorated, they've been through like every single type of scenario you can envision. One of the most decorated teams in VALORANT right now. I mean, you give them 1 round win, that's just enough to spark a fire in all those players to really bring it all the way back.
I mean, they've been in positions like this before.
I mean, I'm remembering casting in Shanghai a 10-2 comeback.
Let's do.
Heretics beat them 10-2 on their attack. They come back on a set defense, win it out. I mean, they have grit.
No, sorry, man.
That's for certain. And now let's see if there's a change of pace from the side of Furia. But it looks like there's going to be a neon towards this A side of the map. Maybe some faint utility towards C. Ah, Furia.
It's very
really
slow.
Slowing down the pace. Still showing the Prowler at C, though, trying to get Heat to get all that free space. Maybe you can take a 1v1 as the main pack of players take this fight against Trent.
Okay.
That's scary. He's under a lot of pressure. Can't quite win that fight out as well. Dodging and juking most of the util. That is just instinctual by Havoc. He knows that the door's going to be open towards Blue Room. Bit of spam. Earns some of that reward.
And this time, instead of freezing, they're opting to just push the pace, take control of that entire A site. They don't want to get surrounded and run down that clock. So a good adaptation from Furia off of that timeout as well. And this retake for G2, it's going to be so hard. So much is riding on the 1v1s.
This.
A 3v5 is the first one taken. Okay, a little bit unlucky there for Prize. Maybe the Heat is right behind you. And guess what?
Oh my.
Leaves lucky to be alive.
What?
Try and take this fight out, and why not? You've got to try and remove some of these problems, but it's a rapid go ahead. G2, they call for it. Paranoia
so
forwards, a lot
screwed.
of damage sent to these players, but you can't count G2 out, not just yet. Jorgamo, it's already onto this spike, onto this diffuser.
Wait.
On top of it, that's half, and he's sticking it all away. Kills to be found, out and wide. And there's that attempt as well.
Almost.
Swinging through and true, Furia. They went out that round on round 11.
Last round in the half.
Just the numbers game at that point for Furia. I mean, yeah, Heat almost did some whiffing right there, but it's just too tough. Too many angles to look at. When that Neon ultimate is popped, I mean, you could just shoot it anywhere in that smoke. You know you're going to connect on somebody and just not ready. Look at that entry again from Havoc, like you said. I mean, G2 have been breaking that door most of the rounds here on their defensive side.
He was the only one with
Why
full
not take some
HP.
pop
I don't
shots
think
there?
he should have been
You
on.
might get lucky, and they did just that. You get the numbers advantage, press the issue. A is
All in
the
again.
focus.
Yeah.
Again.
This is the focus. Salvo's
They need this
fault
one
line
round.
committed as Util though saved up into the back.
Just
pocket
one
of these
round and
G2
then I'll bleed.
players. Spike drone off and round to the side. That's a good connection at that, but how do you choose to refight this one? It's been slowed down. Waiting for the timing. Hold on. Forget about a Util. Guns in hand. Just try and make the most of it. Valin! That's what the team needed. The IGL to step up.
I love the reactive utility as well from Jonah P right there. That fault line coming through. Yeah, Valorant didn't need it, but this is what we know G2 to be. Multiple steps in their protocols. I think he actually caught a glimpse of Trent there on the fallback. I mean, a 2v5 would be ridiculous to close out the half. Such a tough ask. Heat. See if anybody gives him a 1v1.
Yeah, it's looking unlikely though.
Spike's so far away now. I mean, I think Jaw also saw him on a jiggle as well. But yeah, Valen, the IGL, he's been stepping up huge in these rounds. I mean, he was negative, I think, 6 or 7 at one point. Now he's 11 and 11 on the scoreboard.
Potential ace on the cards as well if you can find this one. Hunting.
Oh, he's got it.
Sniffing out Heat. Caught the timing as well. Back
Oh
to
yeah, let's go.
High by power ace here.
We're back.
Giving away $100 in Riot gift cards and $100 in iBuyPower rewards with every single ace. Make sure you follow iBuyPower on socials and using the hashtag UnlockYourAce.
I mean, Valen, he stepped up, he stopped the bleeding. Who other than the IGL who wants it the most? Now, G2, they still have a chance, but a lot is going to be riding on that pistol round. And Furia, with the way that they've been looking mechanically in this series so far, might pose some big problems.
If they come into this one well prepped as well. It's that round 13 that all eyes are on, and we're going to be finding out just how they handle it.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone.
Let's see.
And
How
you'll
much
get
is it
iPhone
to
16
collect
on
bullets?
us. That's a value of up to $1,600 only on Verizon.
What is their favorite food? Isn't it like chickens or something? I don't even know.
Well, the second half is going to be underway here. Round 13 for this pistol round. All eyes upon it because for a team like G2, with an abundance of experience that they've been in positions like this before where they've been down and out. For Furia, honestly, the impetus for them, I think, is going to be trying to lock up this pistol round. Make sure you don't give any ins whatsoever for this G2 squad. Despite the scoreline being 9-3, there's a reason we're layering on this much
I
respect
believe.
under the name of G2.
Yeah, you have to put the nail in the coffin here if you're Furia. This pistol round win is so massive for them to close out their first map of this year's VCT. And right now, with this composition of G2, they're going to play this slow approach a lot. Try to understand where Furia are liking to use that breach utility, where that Neon might be. Leaf is the sole person holding all this space at A. There's 3 members that are looking to get active from the side of Furia. I mean, if G2 even make an inkling of sound towards the C mound, I think you're going to see a fast speed up from the side of Furia to get a quick flank. The fault line does come out to take all that C mound control, but look, it looks like G2 are so scared of a trap play.
Yeah, and you can see it, like the tap, the bait out. As you mentioned, very worried about the potential of it with Furia's composition. Leaf spots it, catches the contact with the Prowler on top of it, so he knows there's at least 2 forward in that position towards A. Rubble. The call is made now by G2, making their way back over. Creeping and crawling though, up behind the wall, and now an explosion of util to make sure they can clear up A. Rubble, take control of it. At the 40-second mark.
Brent, Furia have done their homework right here. They baited out so much of that utility, and now they get to go second. Delaying even further. I mean, that time is running down low, 30 seconds. It will be a pivot towards this B site. For the side of G2, a good call, but is Rafa going to use his utility here to delay for long enough?
Slows it down. Yeah, it definitely slows it down. It
They're all low.
Or
not all of them, but a couple of them.
Trent are going to be able to get a plant down. Just enough time onto the clock for this
We
one.
got dinks on each
Call's
side.
made a step forwards as well. Take control of a bit of these avenues out towards B, make it a bit less uncomfortable here for G2. Paranoia is primed. Valen is holding this one ready, and as soon as they see it, he's flying forwards, and Jogamo, he bites. Pounces straight onto his prey, and this guy is now unleashed. Every position accounted for. Prize reveals his hand with just that haunt. Takes up control of this one, but with Trent being taken out, hold on. Main needs to be accounted for. Being cleaned up ever so slightly, but Prize has got a hell of a task still yet to do. It's 1v2. And he doesn't know where these players are at all. Jordan wants to take that point, take that contact, and a pistol round win now for G2.
I got a little bit scared for G2 in this moment. I think that the way that Fury approached it, basically just not biting into all that C mound utility used by G2 to take that space and staying on this A stack. I mean, I thought they painted the picture perfectly in their head, but the proactivity in the post plant is what the difference maker was. Jogamo getting really active in this round with that utility. Once they take control of all that water space, you saw Valen primed and ready with that Paranoia to set up Jogamo. And if he starts getting on a heater right now, I mean, he's one of the best duelists in the world. It will be an A default here. Another 4-1.
Yeah. 4 players are furious, so some level of danger. G2 are going to hope to sniff out at least some of it. They're not making any noise. They're worried, of course, about potential trap plays. There's a lot of util that Fury have with this composition.
And this is the cool thing about the Yoru, right? Like, you can bait out stacks like this with your clone, with the fact that you can use your TP.
Gatecrash fades.
Yeah. Gets the second one back up, though. Tap of Fedora to see some reactions. It is that Paranoia.
Yeah, wait, we're shooting.
There it is, straight onto the ankle. Just waded into him. Handing all sorts of Jogamo. There's an orb as well. Why not put it off the floor? Get yourself your dimensional drift for the bonus round. But this is the danger that we were talking about. You cannot count a team like G2 out. You already know they're going to be cooking up all sorts of ideas for their bonus round on how to use the dimensional drift. Get the most out of it for the next.
Oh yeah, which strat are they going to pick out of the big playbook that they have? I mean, it could be any single one of them. That's how deep their strat book runs. And what a good default from G2. I mean, we set it up perfectly. They needed to sniff out if there was a stack. I mean, and there was. But Jogamo just holding his ground, holding his angle with that Guardian. Hitting every single shot. And now it just feels almost like Fury are on the back foot. It feels like there's been complete control over the entire map for the side of G2 in these last 2 rounds. And yeah, it's still early in this half. But if Fury start to get active and G2 win based off of that, I mean, you're running dry on what you can do to close this map out.
Yeah.
All 5 of them lived too.
And it feels a little bit odd, right, that we're talking about this as a concept when it's 9 to 5. You'd think we would be talking about, you know, Fury, okay, well, G2's in a lot of trouble, but the trouble is the caliber of G2. We're going to go on a bit of a glazing sesh, aren't we? Because we've seen what this team can do in the past. They're composed. They know what it takes to win from spots like this, and Fury really quite new to it, honestly, in terms of being able to close out maps.
Maybe this A fight can be what it takes to win this gun round for Furia. Get ever so
We got
slightly
all
closer.
of them here though.
But I mean, G2, they're just so ready for this. They're so reactionary. Okay, we understand. You use the fault line. We heard Neon. We saw the Paranoia.
Away, yeah.
We're going to take space elsewhere. I do like the clove smoke at the same time from the side of Furia, though, to delay that C mount control, but there's that dimensional drift that you were speaking about. I mean, this is getting so much info.
It is. It's cleared the way all the way out through C mount. He's going to look to see if he can avoid it, but I think, yeah, just spotted by Jorgamo. It's hot on his heels. Entirety of side control going to be given up now. Taken. Deep flash on top of it. Here's the plan for Jonah. He needs to be a defense in order, but he's got it onto the corner, so the spam's not hitting. But Furia do have 5 alive, ready to set up now. A lot to clear, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Neon's low too, so we can't get no cheese kills.
Do they have the correct set of protocols, the correct set of utility to flush all these players out that are inbound?
Doors opened, Haunt up and over towards
the wow.
My God. It's target practice. The doors opened up wide here, but a double face off through into the back of the site. Still, time is ticking, and guess what? Util held out into these hands, but Util does not care when there's gunplay. Into the hands of Havoc. Ripping him a new one, but still he just can't quite do it, man. He did manage to get half as a potential win con prize with the tap, but Trent with the swing, and that's a bonus round conversion.
Just too much utility. I mean, this is the benefit of running the Yoru. When you use his ultimate, you get the site for free. They didn't have to invest anything else into that. You had everything for the post plant. And
use
at the
that
pace
brain.
that Furia were doing that retake, it doesn't matter if you can shoot everybody in the head. The Tejo missiles are going to be enough. The breach C from Jonah P is going to be enough.
That time delay, right?
Yeah.
How long they took to actually get into that retake.
No, it was way too slow.
Nice, boys!
If you're Furia, you're going to have to do a fast flood.
What are they doing opening the door on me?
The confidence is back in the hands of Leaf and the rest of G2. As they take a little bit more space here at that A site, that Viper wall can cut off so much to safely want you to walk up, clear out these angles. Bit of a drop.
I'm into the box. Wait up.
Wow.
Okay, I'm into delayed with the paranoia and jog him up. That's what you were talking about earlier when you played a Yoru. You're afforded the ability to play forwards, straight back to safety.
Even those Tejo missiles used by Trent right there.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nasty one. Okay.
I don't know how he did that.
Yeah,
honestly,
he's pulling
with a
that one
stinger.
out.
Are you kidding me? This is good. This is the best gun in the game.
Apparently.
I mean, with the evening of numbers right there, it kind of feels like you're smothered for G2. You kind of have to send it A. That's why you see rotations on the minimap right now from Furia. It's going to be a stack here.
I like this because they're all going in.
Try and find these. I mean, there's so much util up into your face. His prize though. He pounces, he strides Khalil off into the side as well. It's that 1-2 punch and that combination. But he's right back at you. Straight in through the back of the side. He's making sure you can salvage this entire operation. And Trent still needs to get this plan down. Squared up to the fight. Heat. He's got to do it all with just a Bucky and a classic in hand. It's looking potentially doable. Takes the swing, takes the fight. They know exactly where he is, though, and Leaf. That is pure composure, rifle in hand. Swatting away.
I think I saw who was alive and tried to move up. It's too late.
If Leaf gets taken down there early on by somebody in that broken door area or somebody flanking, I mean, that is not able to happen. The fact that he's the sole guy running through main while everybody else is going through door is what gets him these free kills to get the trades on site that were necessary to close out this round. I mean, just protecting the spike planner as well in this moment. A huge step up. Back-to-back impactful rounds for Leaf. And it's the last time out now from the side of Furia. Nothing really working for them. Yeah, they found Valen in that moment, but that's kind of like a one-off kill, I feel like. I feel like most of the time, G2 would have been favored, Valen would have been favored in that exchange, so this is the comeback.
Got a Furia time.
This is tough now for Furia. All of a sudden, you were up, what, 8-0 at one point, or 8-1? The score is now 9-7, Bren.
Yeah.
And now in your brain, you just feel like you can't do anything right.
Just string of rounds. This is the most important one here for Furia. But investment with the buy.
And what can you really do, though? Are you going to, try to change the pace, try to just full run it down against G2? You can't really do that because they have protocols in place for that. We've already seen that. That was the Tejo missiles that I was talking about earlier off the tap of the door. I mean, Trent had a protocol for the tap of the door, bro.
They do.
I mean, come on.
It's ridiculous.
What are we talking about here? Such high-level play from G2 on this attacking side to crawl back into things.
Furia at least do have potentially a Nightfall to work with here. Looks like in terms of the stack of the bodies. Doubled up out towards C-Mound. One way in their face. Havoc is looking to try and take that fight as flashes. Straight up G2, pure disrespect. Hopping around. That's Jorgamo though. He's straight back to safety. TP'd back. They were looking for that pull of Util, forcing Furia to reveal their hands in a defensive setup. And guess what? We're going to go the other way.
Yeah, and now what we really have to use on that retake is that Fade Ultimate, like you said. So a great bait out of utility from the side of G2. The Yoru and the Omen getting so much value there in that C area. And they want to double dip back into this. I mean, but Havoc, he hasn't left.
No. He might have to be a stalwart defender of the site. An opening kill here from Havoc would really do them wonders. So much to account for, though. And there it is. Clone over the top as well. He's getting a bit flustered. Has to respect that space and give it up here with 45 seconds left. Leaf's holding off to the side.
Leaf being right here is pretty good.
Go back over towards A.
And it's the right call, but I think it was heard by Heat. He for sure heard some running back, but I mean, everyone's still here stacked at C.
30 seconds, doors opened up. Heat's gone around, he's cleared the space here, so now, yeah, Fury are aware of this. Cover going out. Different kind of challenge now.
You know he's on site now.
Doors open wide. That's going to be sending out that paranoia. He's the one who's going to put a stop to this one. There's only 17 seconds left. Salvos. Sliders and gaps to play in here. The Nightfall on top of it. It's all going to be layered. Furia. They can put a stop to this here and now, but it comes down to the shots. Comes down to that firepower.
Okay.
G2 though, still committed, still sticking it.
No
What a
way.
straight transfer from Prize to pit drop down. Last line of defense here. Leaf weaving in and out into that 1v1. Him versus Heat. Steps himself in. Decay kicking in. And he's got to try and sniff this guy out entirely. But Leaf is already back to safety. Drops his way back. So much to clear.
Oh my. Holy ult.
Timings and Heat is not favored.
This is actually so good.
Ticking. Smoke. Dropped. Blooms. Blossoms. Damage done! But maintains that composure and Heat.
What?
More than enough
He got
time
it.
to get it done.
1 HP the entire way through that Viper's pit. But this might be the power of the Clove that Furia needed. This is why they're putting Heat on this character. It's because he can play like a duelist. He can clutch rounds out like this for you. And I mean, Leaf, he's had so much impact in the last 3 rounds. But what more can he do? It has to be more players stepping up to the plate for him in this moment. The time ran down way too low for G2 to get comfortable on this site. And Prize, the newcomer to this Furia roster, he's looked great so far. That transfer,
yeah,
I didn't know he was this mechanically talented when I was watching him play on 2G.
No.
He's sitting at the top, 16 and 11.
16 and 11, and we were talking about it. Big shoes to fill, but so far, stepping up despite these big heroics of G2. Yeah. And Fury, they finally break that momentum that G2 were just accruing up.
He's been playing so on the edge here at this B door. I mean, look at how aggressive he's playing. But another bait of utility from G2.
No Heat plays there now.
This time, nobody taking any chip damage whatsoever. But already look at the mini-map. Players on Fury are moving towards that A site. Everything that G2 has shown so far has been like the previous round. Are they going to use that to their advantage?
Jogged straight in there, man.
You missed him.
Oh, he missed the corner potentially, but he's going to be spotting this at least. He knows it from the UI. 2 players spotted out. It's given a feel like this could be setting up for a bit of a B here, but the rest of the players in through to A. Pivot options available. Khalil spotted out wide. That's a full access. Open side, open plant now on towards A for G2. The player advantage, and it just keeps building up.
Leaf is so sharp.
I believe.
Site. And the post plant just feels like it's just going to be too clean.
It's taken over.
Yeah, I think you just go for a save right now if you're Furia. If you want to try to get some exits, maybe. But if you look at the money, I mean, you don't have any at this point. The rounds have been very close.
If he saved that gun, maybe he could have bought for somebody, but he takes the fight anyway.
Yeah, feeling a little bit too antsy there. I know he won that 1v1. He feels hot. He wants it. But he's going to wish he would have had that in a future round. Maybe could have had something going for him. And G2, I mean, yeah, they're willing to hunt for this. They've got that spike planted with so much time left in the round. Doesn't look like they're actually going to meet any players here from the side of Furia, but a good answer back. Another conversion on Jogamo's ultimate on that Yoru. And the strat runs deep with that. Gives you so much information. And again, Leaf, he's at the top right now. 15 and 12 for him. He's been getting so many impactful 1v1 kills to open up
not
this attacking side.
It leaves lurks as well. He's constantly getting control of deep A main with no reclear from Furia. And Furia don't have timeouts to identify this, to try and reflect and think about it. But it's been the #1 thing causing them issues. And here's a turn of events, though.
Going for the A rubble fight.
Yeah.
It's because of what you said. He's getting too much value. They have to deny it now. But now G2 have the option to speed up C if they wish.
He's spotting it. Not a huge amount of util thrown out, but he sees Havoc taking the contact forward. So G2, they don't call for a fast pivot to try and take control over towards C.
Yeah, that close smoke delayed that. But again, the layers to the approach of G2's attack. I mean, utility being held out. No one's up close that they saw jump spotting, so now it's going to be that stealth drone to get info.
Front down, flash into your face. Khalil in trouble. That's a suppression in through the back as well. No getting out of that one, but Jorgamo draws a line in the sand as well. Doesn't choose to step and cross back over it. So the attempt to re-clear rubble control didn't really go the way of G2.
And right now, Havoc rotating off that A side after he showed those stuns there, but it's going to be brute force right now for G2. They have to take space now. That time is running low again.
Again. He's finding these openings, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And shutting down Leaf is a big one. He's been the major playmaker. Rolling Thunder now going to be used to cleave its way in through towards the A side, but Havoc is willing to fill in the gaps in the defense, but it's a pivot option. Call forward, the door open wide, and Rafa dropped. B open for the taking. It's a squeeze occurring. Furia, they do have players in every single avenue, but with Heat being dropped, it's all running out for them. Havoc doesn't know what to expect. Layers upon layers here by G2. You think you've got them cornered, you think you've got them trapped, and it doesn't matter, man. They've got a handle on the round regardless.
Yeah. That was the play from the start, the double lurk B. Valen walking in for free after all that A utility was made. And now, yeah, you have to retake with one Sheriff, one Phantom. I mean, Prize is just going to hold on to this one for the next round. And even a Paradoya still in play. I mean, just clean work from G2. Great job manipulating.
Just not letting him get out, are they?
Look at all the utility. I mean,
he will get down to the spike, though, in the end here. This is G2. One more round away from making it nice and even, 10 to 10 on this map. A scenario that we really didn't expect.
Not at all.
To be honest.
Not at all.
Credit for Fury for getting it to this point, but as we've been mentioning, the hardest part is closing it out.
Oftentimes the difference maker from what makes a good team a great team. Can you actually close out maps when you have advantage? They still have it here, and Ultimate's coming back online for Fiera. You have that Breach Ultimate, you have Clove Ultimate. The problem is I mean, Heat's here on an island at sea, and there's a lot of members of G2 that are going to give him a problem.
And waiting for the time that G2 will just disrespect it. Smoke drop down. They're still worried about the potential of a trap play, for good reason. This time, though, Havoc is purely disrespecting. Jump spot baits out a few of these shots. They want to take it one step further. It's a risky gambit to try and overfight.
So good utility used to re-clear that close angle as well. And last time around when util was used like this from G2, Furia gave all of that A space like they are now.
Looks like G2's been winning a lot.
On Prize right now.
And narrowly missing this one. That's it. Up close and personal with the Prowler.
Fury is having a 100 Thieves problem.
Around here, the Seas is a good connection, so Leaf's going to be dropped and tucked here. And Heat on walkabouts, him and Rafa making sure that they can vacuum and take back up control. Door open wide and Leaf accounted for. Still, appropriate response there. Valen was eager to try and see if he could get that trade online, but just calling for that full rotation. Trent has been lurking all the while. Door still patched up. No open avenue on towards the blue room with the door open wide though. Tucks close quarters. Khalil will try and make the most of it. Jorgamo just disrespected him, running them down.
Wow.
Shorty in hand. There's an Armageddon in through the back of the site. That will give them that peace of mind. Rolling Thunder used right back at it, but it's just delayed in terms of the timing. It doesn't deny the plant at all. G2 still into the post with this one. It's up to Fury to see if they can put the squeeze on. They've got a lot of positions accounted for. Rafa's alone up through heaven. His flanking players got to do the work here. Layers down the fault line to try and help them out. Catching these players, but still not catching it close to the corner. No swings in sight. Trent's still locking it down. It's a beautiful angle. Crosshair placements there. Bit of spam in order. Not dead yet. Right back into it, but dominating the angles into these smokes. Valen!
Let's go.
In control of the round. 10-10.
Valen definitely in control, closing that post plan out, but it was Jorgamo with that ridiculous shot with the shorty in the smoke. I mean, how does he always get value doing these things while he's jumping around the map? It's ridiculous. Look at this.
Wow.
There's no reason he should be winning that. He's just him. Busting open the site. And now, it's an even game. A fight towards this A site. Money is terrible from the side of Furia. All G2 have to do is wait out this utility. Go second. They'll have full advantage.
Second wave of it. Gonna go with a refight. Off-white to the side. That's Trent over the top as well. Having to plug Khalil straight out the picture. Havoc matters into his own hands, but he's being swung right from the side there. G2 not giving up this space so easily.
Fury is losing now.
The difficulty with it, as you mentioned at the beginning.
Hope G2 can
just scraps the world
overcome their map as well.
And even the little things, right? Like Jonah P grabbing that orb, getting one step closer to that breach ultimate for the next gun round. No tides left.
I think Fury will quit playing as a king.
So patient with it. There's not much you can do right now from the side of Furia. Yeah, these smokes help you get closer. Maybe that Bucky and Stinger can get a little bit more value now. But the firepower from the side of G2, they could just spray through these smokes if they wish.
They got salvos, they got a stun. Rafa's gonna be able to get
Bucky would be better with different smoke spawns.
Trying to make it just that much more winnable. Heat's left to do it all again with just nothing to work with. Just straight shots fired off. This is G2 taking the lead.
Oh my gosh. It was a long time coming, but they finally did it, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And the way they went about it, just full composure, not letting things slip away, still playing that reactive style, still manipulating the rotations, baiting out utility this entire half. And that opens up a lot of opportunities now to get this map win for G2. I mean, if they haven't really held the W key once off the start, I mean, if they ever decided to change the pace, you imagine Furia would not be ready for that.
Yeah. Slow and steady, that cautious, disciplined style that G2 opt into. Big flash again is dodged in time by Havabit. Crosshair placement. When he's trying to dodge and juke all those flashes coming his way, it's not going to be set steady. Still, containing Leaf, this guy has been a bit of a menace. So it evens it up. Nice 4v4.
And the map is now a little bit smaller for the side of G2. That's why you see Jogamo here trying to compensate, trying to get some of that space back. Otherwise, it's just too obvious where you're going to be ending up here. There was a jump spot I saw on the mini-map as well from the side of Prize. Seeing 3 members. Will it matter?
Whoa.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, Prize just whiffs the seas as a result of it. Door open wide. That's Heat seeking to relieve that pressure. But it's been turned straight back at him. B main. Open for the taking. Khalil timing to be taken, but Valen is already on top of it. Every option accounted for. 2v3, Prize to be that playmaker, steps up to the side, but Jonah P almost on ice skates with the way that he's moving like that.
That's a ridiculous 1v1 to win, Brad. And there was an Omen TP towards the A site. The spike is planted. I mean, Rafa, he has no idea where these members are. There was a guy that just got taken out at C for him.
Yeah. Since it got to the second half, I mean, G2 have been in complete control. Rafa's got to do a lot. First obstacle removed, 2 more remaining. There's a clone in your face as well, blinds it up. He's got to know the rough positioning, but Jogamo could be anywhere. Narrowly spotted out, just baiting these shots out, and guess what? Shorty in hand. Okay, it's getting funny with it, getting funky with it, but he's bought time. And that's a true win con. Already that circle shrinking. They know it. G2 up to map point.
Just amazing play from Valen this entire half. I mean, stepping up huge when his team needed him to start the comeback in the first place. But these trades, the shots that he hit, the reactionary play, understanding that somebody's stunned in that moment, taking full advantage. Omen TPing towards that A side, making it impossible for Rafa to play a 1v3. Yeah. I mean, it's just a masterclass right now in this attacking half of G2. And they really haven't had to show much depth other than, okay, I'm going to wait for Fury to show their hand.
It's been all macro,
and go next.
Yeah, it's been just the push and pull, and this time Havoc, caution to the wind, tries to take these straight up, but stunned up in the process. There is a follow-up, deep push out through B main. It's all contained or handled.
Trades after trades after trades.
Jogamo ults online, picks up the spike. The safety there with it. Gate crash all the way in and through and clears that corner. Heat has been spotted. Target acquired. Out into the open. 31 health here for Jogamo. Snake might drop down at your feet as well. There's uncertainty.
Yes.
Yeah, shot. With heat plucked out of the picture, it almost feels inevitable.
And yeah, it's up to Khalil in this 1v2. We've seen him do it before.
Playing a funny position.
He used to be Furia's shining
Dude, they
star.
have him so right now.
Tons of clutches on this controller roll.
I hope they got
It's
it.
going to be so difficult with his doubled up approach from the side of G2. Their post plants have been something
I had
that
to
they
put
have
one drop.
been drilling for years.
Time ticking. Pressure's on for Khalil. They've made all the noise in the world.
There we go.
Time to strike is
Let's
now
go.
in.
We brought it back.
Wonderful effort by Fury, but at the end of the day, when you're going up against the Bangkok finalists, it takes a bit more to get it over the line in that fashion. Still more of the series yet to be played, of course, but a very winnable map for Fury. They just couldn't quite do it against G2.
I mean, they only won one round on their defensive side. They just got completely out macroed, and we're going to be going into Ascent, but after losing like that, you imagine your spirits are beat down a little bit because it felt like you were right there.
All the confidence they had right at the beginning.
Let's see.
Just petered away out of the existence, really.
But we do have to highlight, I mean, some very good things that we've seen from the side of Fury. especially on the attacking
W
side. I mean,
choke
really
is
set the
crazy.
tone. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they cook in the future.
There have been improvements for this Furia squad. They've definitely been cooking in the time off here, and there's still plenty more action left to come. We're going to be stepping away. When we come back, Ascent is going to be on the cards.
That's insane. Alright, let's hop over here. What is this? Oh. Okay. We have a mini map in a slime game.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Why are they stuck to each other? See what happens if I get them out. Bruh, come on. I don't even know how long's left on that.
A 9-3 curse that turns into that G2 win of map 1. Joshua T, all good, all good. We got worried for a second, it was an 8-0, and we've seen G2 come back from disadvantages like this one in the past and international events and here in Americas. What are some of the things that you tell your team to make sure that you're able to recover this way?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect them to come out punching like that, and I'm glad we got tested this early in the series. It's just about keeping poise, confidence, and just relying on the fundamentals. We were making a lot of mental errors, I would say, in the first 8 rounds, and it's just making sure like we're sharp. And so it's nothing like without some pressure that like brings the boys into focus and start like really playing the game. So that was fun to watch. Hopefully we bring it to map 2.
Yeah, and that is a second map of Ascent that we haven't seen in a long time, and everybody's talking Waylay on Ascent. Is there any chance that we're gonna see that?
You're gonna see Waylay.
Actually, okay, that's a promise. Yeah. I hope it's real. Okay, we'll figure it out. Let's see.
Okay, the Waylay is hype, but we're going to talk about that in a second. I want to talk about the first 8 rounds that Josh was mentioning there, because it kind of is crazy how quickly a half can slip away when you're losing critical buy rounds, critical string rounds. And I'm going to look at 3 here, starting with round number 3. Now, the first thing for G2 is I was really surprised with how they were playing, because usually this team, how they play around Jonah P is they hold on to his utility. Like that stun, he'll hold on to that reactively, use that a minute into a round. Instead, in these early rounds, G2 were using that very early on. You can see sort of up here on your mini-map, he's set up for a fault line going into the corner. That ability is already gone at the start of the round. And because Furia are seizing this space onto the B site so quickly, what it means is that G2 are without that critical ability for the retake. And they're going to come in flooding very heavily through Baby Door. Now, the rest of their team pretty far back, so it's all up to those 3 players to win this fight. And the first fight they take is going to be with some Jonah P utility, right? He's got the Breach Blast, he tosses a flash on up there, but a great counter flash on the opposite side means that this fight just ends up being a 1v1 for G2. And then we're at a situation where just a minute and 24 seconds into the round, Jonah P has 0 pieces of utility. From here on out, it is all gunplay, and this is where Furia, with a quad swing into this corner, absolutely rinsed G2. It falls apart in just a blink of an eye for them. So then we skip ahead to round 5. You know, they lose round 4. Now they've got another buy round here with the rifles, but again, they're using this fault line right off the
They give them high walls, probably.
From Furia, right? They read this instantly and are adjusting by sprinting over, sprinting over into the seaside, right? Get a little bit fun there. But this is where I'm a little bit confused with what G2 was actually doing, right? Because they thrive in very controlled round states. They thrive when they can sort of set the pace, play planned retakes, and instead here, they go for 3 players moving in on the flank. And what this means is that the rest of their team is very weak, right? The map is getting flipped into them over towards their own spawn, and this 3 players going up on the flank here, well, they're not ready to clear away the Clove. Heat is lying in wait right here, gets the first kill, and even though he's eventually going to be traded out, he comes back on the res. And again, if you just look at how crazy the situation is on the minimap, you've got 3 isolated players of G2s. And again, G2 thrive when they're playing together. So, okay, they end up losing that round, it drips away from them, whatever. But that means it's now a 5-0. They're going to be forced onto an eco in the next. It's now a 6-0. Not so good. So we come into round 7, again a buy round for them, and again they actually won early on. So it's a 3v2 situation. They're geared up, primed for a retake once the smoke goes down, but their spacing is just ever so slightly off, right?
I don't need this.
Is out here on this initial angle with Giacomo holding with the operator
To go get more to sell,
Trent is holding
so I can hold more guys.
On paper, that's not a terrible idea, but the op is a one-shot, right? Jonah P is not. Trent needs to be out on this wide angle to deal with Rafa on the off angle to be able to trade out and win this fight, which he just isn't instantly able to do. This adds to time winding down. Jogmo's still got the operator going for the slow peek again against the off angle, and it also slips away due to time. It goes to show that how quickly it can rack up an 8-0 scoreline when these close rounds, when these swing rounds, when these buy rounds slip away at the end. We'll hear what Furia's coach has to say now.
No food.
Ahead of map 2, and that first one, you had a strong lead, you're not able to close it out. But going into map pick of Ascend, what are you going to do to make sure that the
Let's
team
go
takes
and
the
do
lead,
that.
but also closes it out?
A gente escolheu o Ascent porque é mapa bem confortável nosso, desde sempre a gente é muito confortável. No Brasil a gente aplicava bastante eles. A gente está fazendo plano de jogo, executando bem. A gente saiu na frente no último mapa, a gente não conseguiu fechar, infelizmente. Acho que é mapa que a gente tem bastante experiência para conseguir contornar as coisas e saírem do controle. Então eu tô confiante para esse segundo mapa.
Yeah, we picked Accent because it's a map we are very comfortable to play in. We got the leadership in the first map, but we let it slip. So for this map, we are way more prepared for take the leadership and take to the end.
All right, best of luck.
Yo.
Yep. Thank you so much for that, Dryad, and we'll see if Furia can manage to pull off that map to win because they got close.
Just so much in right now.
About that real fast. So I want to take a little trip back down memory lane to, like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. And when Josh RT talked about Waylay,
Bro.
Waylay, do you think we're being trolled, Mimi?
What the fuck?
I'm inclined to believe him and be a trusting person, but that also could go wrong.
I want to establish if you lie to me, Josh, our relationship tarnished forever. Just want to be very clear.
I was looking at
I'm getting to A real quick. I'll be right back.
Bro, my Discord is fucked off. Hold on, I need to
What
restart.
happened?
Way too much. 140. It gets 200.
Okay, 70. Not that. That's like 200 hours. Like, that's how many hours in 2 weeks?
No, he's got to have that winner's mindset. I've
been grinding this age.
It wouldn't let me like exit out it or minimize it or anything, and it was like stuck on the tab friend thing or whatever the fuck that is. I've never seen that before in my life.
He's got a point over there. Lady's got a point. All right, folks. Map 2 is going to be coming up right after this while these two continue to bicker. We'll see you on the other side.
Let's get back to it then. Yeah, map 2 here for Fury
I'm back.
G2, and it's going to be a send.
Boobies.
It's been a send in a hot minute. Yeah, I mean, it's been a
Yeah.
feels like a decade ago for some reason. It's been a while ago.
What's wrong with your Discord?
What?
Pretty much the entire lifespan of the game.
It's just something wrong with your Discord. What is it?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
They kind of have to bounce back after that one.
It's fine now.
Given how close it was on paper with the scoreline, but G2 just made a string of rounds. I mean, that has got to crumble.
Oh, by the way, don't queue Valorant like ramp it anytime soon until Reyna comes back. Reyna got removed, and now there's a bunch of geckos who can't even use geckos. And there's a bunch of chambers that can't even use chambers. Run games just cast at the moment. You can't play the game.
Everybody knows is so defensive sided. Even with the map change, it hasn't really done that much that I've experienced in ranked. You still know what you're going to get on this map of Ascent.
For sure, yeah. Most people know how to play it as well. If you've got a cute eye as well, you might be able to spot some spoilers in terms of that agent select.
Who's my pick this?
And I'm so excited to see the agent select right now, specifically from the side of G2.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yes. And this is something that Jorgamo has been putting countless
Okay.
Like, who's my pick this?
This is Furious.
He still is, as a matter of fact.
Waylay and Vice.
Interview with him, with Pedro, he was talking about how, like, okay, if I want to be able to play this character, I have to make a case to Josh, my coach. I have to show him that, hey, this can actually be played. So I'm very excited to see him on this character. This is what makes G2 such a powerhouse team in Valorant, is the fact that they have really good adaptability. They're very creative with compositions as well, sometimes creating their own metas. So, I mean, let's see how things are going to get here on this map of Ascent. I'm very excited to see Jogamo cook up on this Waylay.
Already discovering all sorts of tech.
Yeah. And something else to talk about as well is the first picks from both sides. I mean, it just feels like Cypher and
Is that the first Waylay pick or something?
in this current state of the game.
No.
But we do have a Yoru.
Waylay's only been picked in China. Twice.
Well, that doesn't count. That place is fictional.
But yeah, they're a better region than America at the moment, so.
Never mind.
We'll see it soon enough here in terms of that investment. It's half armor from absolutely everybody. G2 set the sights now over towards B main. It's going to be that clash. A bit of a rumble. He's going to be in a bit of trouble. That's a double dash forward.
Oh my god.
Straight there forwards, refract, straight back, and it's a bait and switch. The rest of his team nowhere near. An attempt at a punish there. Comes the succession there for Heat. Evens it out.
At least G2's not bad on this map. Their map was struggle.
Good way, Heat. I swear Heat used to be on crew.
I don't know. I don't watch anything other than that.
There's been no slowdown. No break in the play here. The G2 at least going to be able to set themselves up into the post now. Doubled up in Valen holding in through main. A lot of damage done to a multitude of them. Trent's they got 8 HP to work with. Same can be said for a few of these Furia players. Jump in right. They can get lucky with a
He'll be Lin or Trent and a game saver. Don't give me over like Fury's bone. Guaranteed.
Wait.
Leaves it down. It's that 1v1 with the damage done. You got to think Valen's favored round and wide. Pistol round gained and granted here for G2. But my God, man.
If this is the type of ascent we're in for today, I'm all for it. I mean, the old meta is so dull, so boring. You already know what's going to be happening. The explosiveness that we just saw from both sides, honestly, even the retake of Furia was looking pretty nice. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath today on this map of Ascent. But we're already seeing very creative things from the side of G2. That Waylay going all the way into market, recalling backwards while an A hit was coming through. I mean, very, very cool stuff that we're seeing. Very creative from the side of G2. And it's going to be difficult to deal with if you're Furia. You're not used to this type of playstyle.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's one way to deal with you.
Might not matter.
Yeah, just trying to jump past and disrespect that one way. It's one way to do it.
Who's playing up this map? Or like this match?
I don't know.
Unreal.
I saw it earlier. I'm not watching it.
It might be versus Lev. I'm watching that one.
Is he going to play now that he's on, the Sentinel role again? Because he was on Clove on the last map, the pseudo duelist. How is he going to play this Vice here? It looks like he's still playing aggressive.
Yeah, it's an eco, so he's going to be disrespecting, taking forward positions.
I think he heard something. Yeah, he's got to get out of here. Wait for his team to rotate.
Luckily for G2, they did reclaim that Guardian.
One suppressed.
Knife on the side. Pete's going to be spotted out. You can follow the sound cues if you are Fury, but how do you disrespect the util? The answer is you don't really. Dodging and weaving past it. One through the back of the side of the team trying to take a swing! And my God, Havoc ripping off heads!
Wow.
The 4-piece from Havoc. He gets the first in A main, TP's out. It was full disrespect. And the look on your face right now says it all.
Havoc? Oh, the ace went.
Look at this. This is the start that we see. The instant TP out and the full distraction from the player in the back, Heath. He was the forefront there.
Okay, are you in front or are you behind or wasting time?
It's a big, big round win.
Wasting that moment.
5 seconds.
From Furia. Something that is so hard to do against a team like G2 who are so methodical in their approach.
The tempo's been turned all the way up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's no slowing down between both of these teams here. Flash out towards A main, Jogomo. Vacuums up the orb and a deep double push down through mid. Just spotting it. Round to the side here, Leaf. He's lucky to be alive. 4 bullets left as well, but that TP back, so Havoc's just getting out, and he's putting up and turning up the heat, man. Wants to try and take these fights straight to them. Classic in hand. Jogomo could not refract back. Not to safety here, but a reswing again from Leaf. It's relentless.
Just fighting non-stop. They do not care that they have full advantage in the round, that they're up numbers.
Just spotting the top of the head. There's more than a haircut.
Nice shot, Leaf.
Out towards Tars. Rafa cleans it up. But listen, Dre, this is more like a paper escape, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not stopping.
It's fighting everywhere at all fronts. And it doesn't have to make sense for the side of Furia. If this is what they think is the recipe for success, it has worked so far. But you have to imagine on a gun round where when G2 have, more utility in play, actual firepower, you will get punished. But the benefit of winning eco rounds like this is the fact that your economy can be so great. Look at Havoc already having an operator on play.
There's one thing I would say about G2 is they HP are good players, like the most consistent ones.
This time,
Like they could take like a 20-year vacation, come back, and still be the best players.
G2?
Equalized out ever so slightly, but not quite. Furia still with the player advantage, just by 1.
And for G2, you having to deal with B main aggression, mid aggression, and A main aggression, like you can't hold it all, right? No. Like, I wonder at what point you're gonna see G2 maybe just clump up, use that KO knife up close, and just full W key. The defense is spread thin right here, though, and G2 are calling the right site to hit. Incredibly
wide swing.
Wow.
Leaf sense an opportunity to potentially punish Prize. Just up onto
That is a Valorant wall moment.
Havoc needs to just be watching onto this position. The smoke gets them in. G2 looking to pave away. Map for success, but his shots are hitting, rattling wide. Jonah P. Instant answer in through the back of the side. And he has the spike in hand, but against this many players, just so damn unlikely. 3-1 by Fury. No slowing down.
Not at all. We had questions that we needed to be answered. Are they going to start off kind of shaky because of how they lost the last map? So far, it's just been aggression on aggression.
Honestly, if you two can get like 5 rounds this half, then this should be good for defense. The map is definitely defense-sided.
A player that started so rough in this league. I mean, playing the KO and dropping what, like 1 kill?
That was brutal at the beginning.
I mean, now he's sitting at 8-1 with his own Your Ultimate online that he can use for whatever he wants. Set up here. KO is on cat.
G2 with mass pings.
That's all of mid.
Hoping for an early catch.
Yeah, trying to catch out Havoc probably, who walked all the way down mid in the previous round.
Heat is purely disrespecting him though as well. He's playing ahead of his util constantly.
He does not care, but with doing so, he baits out so much utility.
Exactly.
Look at how much G2 had to invest. Proactivity in mid now from the side of Furia. Can they catch out Jogamo here?
Steel Garden. It's going to overlay on top. Catches all the corners here. Prize is trying to play onto site here. He's going to have a weapon to use. Molly at your feet. Rafago re-exploring in through the side as well, not accounting for Jorg. Slipped his way in through market. Got himself an upgrade into the process. Do you want to try and make your way in?
Wow.
His picture perfect. The sheriff bullet straight to the dome of Prize. Takes him out. Paranoia sweeping wide. Jorgamo's a menace at this point. Thorn in their sides that they just cannot remove.
Rafa slowly clearing out Leaf. He's the only win condition now for this retake.
He's one more. Jorg back to multiple players. No
Wow, even dodging an up shot.
Jorg is just a menace. One-man army.
That was the plan from the start of the round. He was one of the only players to have a rifle in his hands. Takes all of that mid control. And that was the biggest gap in Furia's defense. There was a little bit of sound made on a re-clear that gives Jaw the cue to all of a sudden wrap all the way around as the sight hit's coming through. And although it was a thrifty round by from the side of G2, the utility, the Bice ultimate, they smothered the B players. And momentum now shifts back into the hands of G2. Jogamo picking up that operator.
Up the up.
And it's actually a perfect gun to use with the playstyle that Fury has been doing.
Oh, they're finally getting punished for going mid. That's crazy.
Ahead of the smoke coming up, but there's that coverage and a flash forwards. Yeah, spotted it. Shoulder TP back and away. It's from Havoc.
KO ultimate used pretty early on here.
Yeah, it's going to be sweeping out wide.
Catch out Havoc. That's
true. And
You're just the better opera.
possible repositions. At the same time as Zach Khalil. Deep push and disrespect in through A main.
So like he's glitching.
Trent's been dropped, but still player advantage here for G2, and they're, I think, trying to get a bit of a control on the tempo of this game because
it's been so fast.
Wow, timing.
Yeah, but now they're just starting to punish Furia on all cylinders. I mean, Valen connecting on every single shot, and this is what I'm talking about. This operator to close.
This is an average Ascent gameplay right here.
With the way that Furia are approaching these rounds.
Opping.
Completely hold angles now. Get the first kill.
Is it even the Odin's or is it up?
And that KO ultimate it was used to try to catch out.
They keep taking mid, so they can't. The enemies can't use an Odin.
I mean, he's stuck in that corner.
I think they thought that he hadn't TP'd out earlier.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe why they offloaded it. It didn't matter though.
Yeah.
Jorga was still accounting for the re-peak.
Once you get the angle, like once you get an aggressive angle like that with that operator, it just puts the advantage totally in your hands. And now Furia have to take a time out, understand, okay, the aggression has stopped working. Let's chill out a little bit and maybe play a second run. Maybe. Because so far, G2, they've dealt with that storm.
It's been cautioned. Exactly.
Oh, never mind. That would have been too far. What? I was gonna say something really bad.
How bad will it be?
Like. Pretty bad.
From 1 to 10, 10 being cancelled, 1 being not cancelled, how far would you say?
To deal with that storm, right? Yeah. So the fact that Valen is able to adapt on the fly like that, I mean, that's such a great leadership
I wouldn't get canceled for it. It's just messed up.
Oh, okay. Didn't see it.
No.
Come on, if you don't know you cancel, just say it.
Bucky.
Yeah, give it to him for the retake. Maybe let him start off with a good gun. You know?
I get what you mean.
This guy, I mean, that 4K was nothing to be, ashamed of. It was crazy. And now,
And a few needs to get aggressive because like then she's holding full aggression as Fox did now. We got 2 for B. We got Juggernaut open.
Contact walk up here. A lot of utility being committed to take this B main. Vice flash.
Wrong spot, buddy.
I think it's on the pipe, isn't it?
It was on the left side of the wall, but obviously picked it up again. Okay, that was not 20 seconds, bro. How have you got another flash? When you flash and you take it back, you have to wait 20 seconds. But we flashed twice in like 10 seconds.
You probably pulled it.
Yeah, put it into 20 seconds, get it broken to 40.
Making a lot of noise. Is the only one to do it.
Yeah, but everyone else is geared up towards B main.
That's Havoc with the ult. He's at his back. Does he want to choose to jump? Not quite. G2 instead are going to be setting the sights now over towards this A side prize and opportunity. Nobody's watching this smoke. He could just slip past the gap and see if he can find an opening, but they're just being torn.
This is one of my rank games today, bro. We're in the lead and this is what happens.
Filthy shot from Leaf. He had no
Just saved, bro. There's no here winning this one.
But all this space in mid that has been gathered by G2, I mean, all they're left to do is leave Jaw on an island there. But he's so confident in his talent, even with an op walking up to re-clear all that space. It's like they just know that it's weak for Furia. I mean, everyone from the side of Furia, once that B main pressure is there, is looking there. Completely distracted.
Spotting the shot.
Some cool tech right there.
Gone for another set of play.
Okay.
Classic in hand, and Havoc's doing all that.
See, give him a rifle, man.
Yeah.
Give the man a rifle.
Let him loose. See what he can do, but G2 now taking this lead. It feels like we just started this map and we're already into
Getting 2 is crazy.
8 itself.
What a complete swing of just momentum and a shift in play. Furia.
I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of either of these comps.
Just completely taking things into their own hands. Putting the fight.
Like Vice, I see what people use in Vice, but Cypher's still better than Vice for this one.
And now, G2 weathering that storm.
Waylay, I don't know. It's a bit too soon to judge.
Playing that macro game that they know they're good at.
Attack side off is a good option as well.
Oh, it's so good.
The amount that, as we've been mentioning, Heat and Khalil have been just disrespecting A main, B main control, peeking into it alone.
You can see it now on the minimap. I mean, everyone's scared to peek these really deep angles now.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a little bit more aggression from the side of Fury in mid. They understand that that is a huge gap that has been being abused time and time again from G2. But it's just not going to be good enough. I mean, he's going to get overwhelmed. There's too much utility in play. With the extremities being taken, I mean, it makes it kind of obvious that there might be players in mid now.
Cannot get suppressed in this spot. Luckily, the spy drone not going his way.
I mean, that off just almost ringing a bell into Rafa's brain.
Scary business.
Yeah, he had to fall all the way back, but B-site is the name of the game for G2.
Here it is. Gonna be a war in the face here.
I don't know if I'm going to watch the split game if we end up getting split.
See what happens here. Convergence.
I'll be honest.
Aren't you gonna watch the other game?
I don't know. Like, I kind of want to, but I don't know. I see how I feel after this game, like this map. Like, this one is not any content or like any fun. I'm literally getting bored of watching this.
I'm chilling. I'm gonna play GTA though.
This is making the EMA games look more fun.
What a warrior. Just swinging everybody alone.
NA is supposed to have the best content. EU is supposed to have the weird comps. Pacific is supposed to have like the better team rivalries. And then China, I don't know yet. I haven't really watched China too much.
There's a lot of layers to that.
I can't even imagine being.
Like Jorgemont does not care about being separated by his team by the wall in that spot.
No,
he's got the refract to get back.
Yeah, if he has to, he doesn't even have to in that moment.
Yeah.
Prize. He's getting hunted right now, and he gets one tapped by Trent. Oh my goodness. The space that this attack site operator has been giving G2 has just made it so easy for them to just set up for that site execute. There's no more disruption, and yeah, there's a vice wall to kind of separate the main pack from Jogamo here, but when you have the ultimates in your favor, and you're just floating in the air, like, you just can't do anything.
Tenz's mouse finally releases.
Goodness. Yeah, he knows those shots were nice. I mean, you could just tell Leaf, he's just been such a crucial part of this G2's...
Looks cool, but it's not.
Josh switching him over to that sentinel role, understanding that, I mean, you basically have another duelist in play.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You can take 1v1s anytime he wants, and he's always favored, it feels like.
Very intelligent player as well. He's willing to fill in the gaps as well where he can find them.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's a setup like this from the side of G2 where he's on an island, but I mean, how many times have we seen him get punished? I feel like barely any. And now G2, Valen calling another great read. Nobody here. I mean, yeah, there's Vice utility to delay, but look at...
Yeah, straight in, up and over the top there with the salvos as well. It's a big clearance. Leaf was tested there, outside.
Caster's curse.
Yep. He was being, I think, approached by 3 of the players, so he's going to be making that call. Sights opened up. The wall, though, slows them down to a degree. Door needs to be closed, so Trent's going to make sure they've got control of that one. And Rafa, wait a second, wrapping around here. That's Valen dropped off onto the side. It's a 3v5 now. It's the best chance in a long while. The Fury have had to get around here into this map. You can't let it slip just yet. Drawn open over the top there. Heat wall popped open and out, and that's damage straight down and around. Dart revealing all straight through the wall. Jonah P got to back away at this point. It's a 1v4. You're getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, save that operator. You know it's been giving you so much success, and you don't want to put that in the hands of Havoc either. We saw that nice 3K that he had to close out one of the rounds. And a good job from Furia. I mean, taking advantage of Leaf being on an island. Yeah, he kind of got overwhelmed. He got swarmed there. But then taking it a step further, Rafa taking that flank against Valen, not giving any space for G2 to kind of even the numbers in that moment. It was a pretty cool execute from the side of G2. I mean,
Been 244 days since we've seen Ascent on the VCT America stage. Good to know.
One layer ahead, though, from
It's almost a year.
Switching Heat over towards that A site when he's just...
But actually, that's kind of crazy, actually. 244 days, because the map came back recently. It was gone for 60 days. So somehow, for 200 something days, teams have been banned in Ascent. Sure can't be true though. I swear Ascent played it when they qualified for Champs. I don't know.
Proactivity though from Khalil.
Yeah, there's fight to be taken. Paranoia up in your face. Khalil not favored into that spot.
You didn't hit him at all.
Most of the way forwards, Havoc from on high, looking to rain down bullets.
Havoc really said, "Nah, it's fine. You keep that up, we'll buy this up."
Play this one a bit more passively. Needs to buy time for the rest of his team to get into the fight. Buy time for this late lurk that's occurring. Rafa. Pressure now, bit of a clearance in through tree.
And this time, no late flank coming all the way around. Yeah, easy shot for Leaf to clean up Havoc in the 1v1. I mean, he's already primed on that angle. And it's just done. I mean, you're not breaking through this defensive setup, this post plant. And Rafa is trying to catch out any people exiting here, but that side hold this time, everybody staying in, nobody worrying about the flank right there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's just the new compositions as well and how uncomfortable these teams are, I think, playing it, maybe. Because, you know, when Ascent's played for so long with a Sova, Killjoy, there's certain... you just expect things to be the way they are, right?
Yeah.
Alarm bot in mid, Sova's got a dart, and the drone
so
to clear out an
different
opera in
now,
mid. The comp change-ups, it allows gaps, but it is different things to account for. And I'm not sure if that's the reason we're seeing it being this scrappy, or if it's just both of these teams...
I can't lie. Watching Jogamo play Waylay kind of makes me want to go and play Waylay.
But even still, feels back and forth.
Yeah, that round was a fast cat split. I mean, with Valen being the only person in A main. Had Khalil not whiffed his first bullet, he doesn't get paranoid there, and he gets the kill.
Okay, Jorg's still doing work. I think that's just a jump spot that he was Spotting up towards Cat there, maybe just off the timing.
We got to get a replay on that. That must have been so quick.
Yeah.
And now they just freeze because they know every single time Fury are down numbers,
they go for peaks. More. They go for peaks like Khalil's doing here. Yeah. And you've got the read there, Dre.
G2 have
They know they're gonna rotate back A, so they're gonna hit B.
It's so impressive.
He just needs to wait for this op to get off the angle.
Squeeze down, apply that pressure with an early pick off. They just wait it out. Fury are the ones that have to make the moves.
That dagger being used. G2 know that doesn't connect on anybody. That's why you see Valen doubling back. He might want to show a little bit more pressure here. Ice Flash doesn't connect on Havoc though.
Wow.
Is just ridiculous. Swings into it. Havoc's
Seen off an 8-4 half.
They leave? No way.
Again. There's push and pull. 30 seconds left into the round here. If Rafa was holding a 4 position, there would be some danger here for G2 to be making a maneuver.
Who's the IGL for G2?
Yeah. Valen.
Valen.
Is it Valen or is it Valen?
Valen, I think.
I don't know. I would say Valen. Valen. Oh yeah, it's Valen. Yeah. An IGL for Furia, I think it's Prize, I think.
You have a free A site. It was a masterclass of a round, honestly. What a great call from Valen.
Yeah, because Furia, actually, no, I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to Furia's comps. I've never known like he'd been in that team for a long time. I don't have it been there for like years, but.
No scope somebody because that's what he's going for at this point. I mean, he cleared out all of hell with an op. Like,
he's happy to take point with it.
Yeah, he's on a different level right now.
Yeah. I think the threat of this util as well, just like running the Tejo.
Yeah,
all of these util combos as well. It's almost the threat of it means you can't play on site.
You can't, and maybe that's why Furia, but most likely that's why Furia were approaching the early game with all that aggressive fighting. They
kind of rooting for G2 here.
Executed on. Here's that shot. We get to watch over it, see how quick this was.
No, just stop. The smoke's dropping down, and he's like, okay, well, I'm anticipating a peak. That's insanity.
Honestly, he handled that a lot better than I would in that moment.
Yeah.
I would have been raging. Maybe a death slam.
Well, it feels like we just got started on Ascent. We're already last round of the first half. Here it is. Push off and away. Try and take B main control as the goal for G2.
Yeah, because of how the previous rounds have went, I mean, the string of rounds G2 have accumulated, you are able to use a double op in the beginning of this round. I'm sure there's a rifle drop somewhere in the back of spawn that Leaf can pick up, or Jogamo.
Rafa's been caught out in the open. Attempted a bailout. These are flashes flying forwards, but Rafa is still isolated on an island down towards the bottom section.
Crispy.
And Valen's quick to take him out of the picture, wall baited out on top of it. It's the slow siege that G2 are so good at.
Yeah, lot rides.
Their attack is better on this map than it was their own.
Even the numbers here for the side of Furia, he does have that operator in hand.
I mean, it's saying if you go right comp, like, do that right. They've got the best smoke for this map. It's still questionable. They got Initiator that can damage and ruin the life of other Sentinels. They got basically perfect comp.
Wait. Oh my god.
Also, who did the guy that back kill? I saw someone knife. No way, Leaf. There's no way.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
He is so damn good.
What the heck?
I mean, just tracking him the entire way through, even through the wall.
Even with a cheese shotgun, they can't win, bro.
From Havoc, it's just not enough. You would think a knife to the face would do it, demoralize the enemy. But Leaf is too sharp.
If I didn't get a knife kill on Sully's around.
Look at that smile, it's timeless. A stolen round from G2 right at the very end.
Absolutely unreal stuff overall as well. We're going to send it down to the floor as well. We got Dryad standing by with Hammy, G2 co-streaming it, seeing his team doing work.
That's right, I'm here with G2 Hammy, and this match has been insane. Hammy, we saw this back and forth on on the first map as well. It was a crazy comeback for G2. Were you worried for a second, or was it all chill?
I was not worried in the slightest, actually. We've seen G2 play Lotus plenty of times. Nothing new. I was not surprised. Even if it was a 10-2, 11-1 half, was not worried in the slightest. Yeah, appreciate you.
And something that you talked about, because we heard some hot takes from you that were not really hot takes, because you were talking about Giacomo being one of the best duelists, or actually the best duelist. Now you're seeing him on Waylay. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like, are we surprised? He's just the GOAT. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised in the slightest. I mean, him on a Waylay, put him on anybody, he'll fry.
Anybody that can match him, not really.
Do you think the players can hear his interview?
I don't know.
So Mike's arguing, let's pick up the audience crowd. And what he's speaking to a mic was going into, obviously, the stream and also going into the studio. Like, you know.
I always see G2, like, when they're playing, they're just like, they're always putting on a show regardless, like, nonetheless. Like, yeah, I'm stressing sometimes, but they also, like, always manage to pull through. It was pretty hard at, you know, as we've seen at Bangkok and stuff like that, but hey, we'll win Toronto. It don't matter.
You know, they stress us out just a little bit once in a while, but they always win at the end, so it's all good. Thank you so much, Hemi. Bringing us in the back to you guys.
G2 are just in control, really. 8-4 finish with how rapid it was at the beginning of all of this. And, you know, we kind of started this map highlighting Jorgs. He's putting in the hours onto the Waylay, putting in work. He's top fragging for his team as well, 13 and 6.
There's a bit of a running joke there where Giacomo gets to finally bait his team. And he's been talking about this amongst one another. And I mean, we get to see what happens when that's the case. He's 13 and 6. He's sitting at the top. It must feel nice for him to be able to, you know, be the first guy and the second guy in this time around.
Escapes the Euro jail slightly. Normally he's the base at the end of the stick there. He's taking contact up through mid, and a lot of disrespect shown here by Fury. They've already vacuumed up control of market.
Yeah, but now is where the protocols of G2 come into effect. So you got the Thorns, you got the Flash here to delay even extra. Giacomo here on the quick rotate.
Yeah, just spotting out Utila, including these players. The Flash is good with the connection. Okay, Crash. Back to safety for Havoc. Still alive here. Fury not leaving though, and backs are open wide here, but it's an instant trade-off as Leaf is dropped, and now trying to get themselves into the side. What a call!
Yes.
Perfect setup and play by Jonah P.
Yes, GG's. This is a G2 map.
Tears them asunder.
Rough on this flank though. He's gonna see 4 members.
Watch for to double up as well. These players accounting for.
Furia crumbled.
Not long for this world, is he? And he dropped down just to 20 health. Players know where he is.
I didn't even know you could throw that on the ground.
Know exactly what to watch for.
Yeah.
Then again, I haven't even played her.
You've played it and you've never seen anyone use it on your NA lobbies, bro. Everyone thinks Vice is awful Sun Patrol. The thing I hate, right, is everyone thinks silent agents are awful, but once someone uses it in a pro match, it's like, oh, no, man, this character's actually good.
Really, really risky, but, I mean, he knows his limits on this agent. He looks so good at it already. All that time he's been putting in, it's paying off right here. What an insane performance from him.
A lot of Utah going to be laid down here by G2.
Yeah, they want that B main control. They even grab the orb on top of it. Oftentimes, the attacking side will try to get orbs of their own on their eco rounds, you know, just try to get something out of nothing. A little bit of denial this time around, and it's going to be retake on A.
Jonah P overstaying ever so slightly there and swinging out with a Spectre. Not quite the weapon at hand, but he's got the Thorns to supplement, so I'm going to be stepping past that line. Rafa accounted for. All propped.
What is that Vice for? Oh,
crazy.
Lucky Leaf.
Paranoia is going to get a lot of value. Oh, goes blow for blow.
Honestly, if I was Leaf, I wouldn't expect that either.
Prize got to be careful.
Great delay.
And damage done to him as well. He's been softened up to just 21 health. Prize
Trying to take a position.
This can be good.
Even better, but at this point, put in a slow squeeze onto these players. The post-plan positioning just not quite ideal. Heat doing well, still double dash up and over. That's just for the info as well. Spotting it out, and I believe they have spotted it. Smoke propped up. Heat has escaped to the still Giacomo. Sky's the warden.
Just dashing around, recalling into heaven, getting a spam kill, and then holding. He looks so comfortable on this character. This is such a cool thing to watch so far. Furia, they almost did it. You thought for a second, if they got that spike planted, maybe, if the salvos weren't in play, maybe they would have had a chance on this retake. But as soon as those salvos come out and the plant is denied, yeah, G2 are already in good positions to get that retake going. Heat, although he landed some really, really nice shots into that round, it's just not enough. Let's see, it will be the first gun round here, and if you look at the economy of G2, I mean, that is
Surely they don't pull a G2.
Let's see what Leaf can cook up here, though.
It's not a deadly bonus round, but they have just got full steam ahead. Delayed with the power.
GT gets one more round, right?
It's over.
And they're gonna C9 it.
They're just not shooting back.
Oh, amen.
Is punished for his hubris. 2 players drop down. These are weapons now that you've handed over to the opposition. G2, as weak as this bonus
Wait.
is, it doesn't matter. They work magic across the battlefield.
So filthy. We were talking
I've never seen Prize or Khalil lose this because I've literally never seen the name of the games.
I seen them lose it last game.
5v2 retake. Yeah, it's heroics.
Wait.
Prize has given you a lifeline, but can you do anything else with it? Khalil left into that 1v1.
Wait.
The potential is there. Joggermo half already sticking this one all the way through. Paranoia has to get off of it. But Wincon to be bored, earned out, swinging wide and out, but bullets to the dome. That is unbelievable.
I told you, I've not seen him lose it. Yeah, I might just. I'm not about watch this. I might just end the stream and just go play some Valorant, honestly. It's about to really like entertaining at all. I guess I should have expected that. It's G2 versus MIBR, bro. When has MIBR ever been a good team to watch? Like that, you know?
But it's not done yet. G2, they have the grit. That's not going to affect them in any way.
That's just one small obstacle in a long timeline that's rolled out for G2.
Tomorrow's Sunday, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'll probably be on if you don't pay anything. I haven't got any scrims and I probably won't be doing rank since my duo is not on Sundays, so.
Set him up. If he wants to try and take it, Khalil from behind.
See it.
Applying that pressure, squeeze onto it, Leafs left alone, 1v4. There's no chance for him to really play himself in here.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario here, if you can catch out one of these players, get an upgrade, get a rifle in play and save it. I mean, that'd be great. I mean, I know he's comfortable with the Outlaw. There you go. Yeah. There's the rifle. What a change of pace from Furia, though. I mean, that was very, very decisive in that A main fight. That exchange going completely their way.
Started the round as well, talking up. Good work here for G2, saying, wow, it takes a bit more than that. Just one round, of course, disrupted the momentum.
Of course, right?
Furia just keep that confidence going, trailing into round 16. Earn themselves another one. You've got to take it one step at a time if you're going to try and equalize. At least in terms of these rounds.
How long can they keep it up for, though? How long can they ride that momentum of that 2v5 that happened? It's another good opportunity to convert another round, because the economy of G2 is not going to be looking too good. We saw that Yoru teleport getting some good value. He's so fast. I mean, his reactions are insane. I mean, Havoc is having a phenomenal game as well. Let's see what Furia can cook up with this ultimate. Maybe they don't want to invest it into this round, but
they're up against the weaker buy of G2, which might be the reason why. But honestly, you do want to show them a little bit of respect, I think.
Yeah,
the ult is going to get you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, any round you can
wait.
Not even clearing corners. Okay.
Oh.
The two of them, but as this has happened, I mean, flashed himself in the process, got the info. His team need help though. It's a rapid play by G2. They just took it straight to them. That's a
wow.
top section of mid. Rafa's going to try and contain this one. I think they've dropped a rifle for them.
They freaking
He's making his way up through and around. B main control given up. Spy drone, Trent forward, close quarters, looking for the repick. This is mad. This is chaos, man.
This is insane.
Look at the way this is.
What is happening?
Cut his way up. I mean, his Furia players are on a bloody island now. Up the gut through mid. What's the escape plan?
They're going to crunch A from spawn, Brent.
But he's straight up in them, and there's no setup for
him
when he's making a play like that. I mean, you got to think a couple of layers ahead.
It's madness.
Mechanical ability surely can't bail you out, and yes, Valen, he's hot on it, man. Swings for the trade and Prize once more. Staring down the barrel of defeat. for this particular round. Can he pull off another miracle?
Nice.
Round for G2.
I mean, I'm on.
Good luck. We didn't see much of it.
I mean, players of Furia everywhere, but I mean, it is because of the pace that G2 are putting on them as well. I mean, it's been so much fast-paced, aggressive set plays from G2 on this defensive side, which is so uncharacteristic.
Dude, Khalil, you're re-peeking, buddy. You have the bomb.
Oh my God.
Just vibing with it too, huh? But what was that round? I mean, players in spawn.
I mean, that's just a fluster position to be in if you're Furia. You're up against a weaker Maya G2. You're getting G2 cook up, from what I saw, looked like a decent play to aggress outside, like, you know, through A main, Gelato, to get an early pickoff.
Omen Paranoia.
What was the call for Furia to take it one step further by trying to fight in through spawn?
Let it go, buddy. You lost.
But it was the way that G2 bunkered down. It didn't actually give those 1v1s those picks. I mean, you saw Trent there in spawn at B, just using that recon drone, getting the info, and Furia just, they couldn't make a plan. They were so indecisive in the moment. They were flustered. So although it was really chaotic, G2 thrived in the chaos. And something that's really interesting is what he had said in an interview was he feels like Furia need to focus on having success in the chaotic moments, being calm in those moments if they want to make a run in this stage. And so far, I mean, with what we just saw, they didn't even know what to do.
A struggle, right? Yes. I mean, that is a super apt quote in terms of something that they've been working on, but you're seeing glimpses of the weakness when the going gets rough. It's a little bit chaotic, the comms not being cleared, and calls are being made all over the bloody place. It brings G2 up to that 11th. Not too much room to breathe left for Furia overall in this series now. 2 more rounds will do it for G2.
With how close these rounds have been, I mean, Furia now, I mean, Havoc's sitting at a sheriff. Like, why are we not giving this man a rifle? He's sitting at the top for your team. He's been the entry most of the time. Maybe just thinking that he's so confident with that gun. But a little bit of an oversight, I feel like, as the pace has been slowed down by Furia this time. I mean, being forced to have to play to G2's pace, that's not something that you hear every single day.
He isn't. Drone suppressed. Rafa's here.
He's by himself.
He's alone doing this though, and the Salva's going to be clearing the way out through. So G2 already clearing up the question marks.
An instant reclear, and you still have that Vice wall in mid that'll give you info if it's going to be a split. We saw how deadly the rotates were from G2.
Repeat right from the side there. It's Jonah P trying to punish these players, but that's a DTP now in through A.
Wait.
Spike into the hands of Khalil here. He just wants to get open access to the A side to try and help his team out. And, well, AIM just not quite in control there for Trent. Still from on high. Leaf tapping away. He's already found the 2. Just couldn't quite claim the 3rd still. Damage has been done.
Maybe we take that 1, 2.
If this mid kill goes the way of Joe, not quite. So, Furia, find a way. Find a path through all that chaos once more.
That was a great round from Furia. That was great calling. I mean, after that pick comes out on Cat from Jonah P, you got a little bit antsy, a little bit too over-eager on the over-rotate. The decision to go A in this moment is perfect.
Yeah.
And then setting up Heat to cut off the last...
That's unfortunate.
I mean, it was set up really nicely from the side of Furia. If they can kind of weather that storm against G2, not get picked first from some weird aggression that people aren't accustomed to from the side of G2, maybe that's going to be a recipe for success in the future.
And so far, G2 have not won a gun run, actually. Just a pistol follow-up and a thrifty of their own.
Hey.
On this half, at least.
That's a great entry, though.
Yeah, this one's a good change of pace for G2. And, yeah, it's just too good at accounting for it, man.
Straight to the dome.
It's painful. Trent, control, still bullet to the dome. There's no follow-up. The rest of his team there, he's just trying to contain the aggro control of it. Peek out wide, Leaf has already claimed it, and this is a Furia team that is being picked to pieces. The tapestry unraveling. Spike drop down into main, and G2 inevitable at this point, isn't it? It's going to be that 12th round unless there is that miracle moment once more.
I mean, he's got a minute to work with, but it's going to be such an uphill battle. You can't really save either. Like, it's just too much time. It's a good moment right now for the IGL of Furia to try to come up with a game plan for the second round, because your economy is not going to be looking that great. You're going to have to cook something special when the gunfights don't go your way like that, and now you know that there's an operator in play on the defensive side as well. very limited. Looks like he will be trying to save. I wonder if G2 go for the hunt. I mean, their economy hasn't been that great either. It's been very scrappy back and forth in this chaos that we've been witnessing.
They're just going to go walkabouts for it.
Yeah. Who's, by the way, he's been having such a great map anchoring that A site specifically.
Definitely has. Heat's going to be able to hold on to the rifle for now, but the big prize, the ultimate one, is G2 getting that 12th round now.
And something I got to mention is that when you look at the ults online for G2, this is something that this team struggled with in their first year of VCT, was closing out games, much like we were talking about Furia for. But a good recipe for success that they've been having is, okay, let's start saving our ults when we have a big lead, when we're within 2 rounds of winning, and just guarantee either the tie or the win with them. And that's what you're seeing. The Trent's even going to have his line. There's no way that G2 are going to lose this.
So all the pressure on Furia. Stay alive in the series. It's an opening game where, listen, again, Castermind's back. The expectations were low for this squad, particularly high for G2, but they've been in touching distance many times to making G2 look mortal. But this is potentially the killing blow.
I love all this.
Don't start trolling now.
Map for G2 right now. I mean, you have Vice utility all at A, but you're actually playing on B with it. Already manipulating the attacking side to want to lean heavy towards that A. Reclear info being used from the side of G2. Doesn't get anything, but you know no one's close.
No.
Can now walk into that some of that space.
Drop down to the minute mark, and the tensions are now high for Furia.
I think they're just, they're finna use all their ult.
Leafs all the way off site, already playing around this null command. The possibility of an A split, they've got the util, he's going to be set up, primed and ready for it. I'm seeing it. Yep, it's going through. Suppression out wide. Holding the angles, this is it. 40 seconds left roughly into this round, and Furia scrambling for these options. G2. They know it, they can feel it. Leg shot connects, saturate in through the choke, and there's an ult for extra measure. Dismissed there with a dart. Could line it up to anything here, straight and around to Jenny. 20 seconds left, the spike is in spawn, man! And a flick of the wrist from Jorg. He's finishing this map and series in style. He knows what the players are. All accounted for, everyone's ready for it. G2 to get away 13-7.
Nice. They brought it back.
All those ultimates used in that final round once Trent gets that first kill from the mid to B. And I mean, it was stalwart. Nobody from the side of G2 moved. They had so many protocols. If that B split were to even happen, it's insane that you could see all that prep working. And what a unique composition that we just witnessed today. I mean, Jogamo looked great. Leaf on that defensive side, his anchoring was